There we go. We got it. We're good. We're better now.
Oh, the non-existent watchers.
There we go. I know, but we're back now. We're good. So now people can take notes in peace. But anywho, um, she'll say, where was I? She'll say that only makes up a small percentage of the people that staff the walls. A lot of them come from Waterdeep, and the one that's in charge of them, some half-orc, he's just kind of a drunken, good-for-nothing who kind of wanders the town, singing in drunken stupors late in the night. And I think that the adventurers are probably doing the best job spotting people. The guards from Waterdeep seem pretty apathetic.
What are your views about the Castellan?
She'll kind of, like, seem indifferent, and she'll say, I only view, I view the Castellan of the village as, I think everyone else around here does, more as a figurehead. I think, really, the father of the church, Father, Dorovic, he's in charge around here. The captain of the guard and the Castellan, they might collect the taxes and do the dealings with the people in Waterdeep, but they don't really have much sway around here. If people were looking for direction, they look to the father for insight.
Does Goldenfields rely on Waterdeep so much that they can't just replace the head of the guard if he's that bad?
She'll shake her head, and she'll say, I don't fully understand the politics of it myself. Something about the Lord's Alliance doesn't make any sense to me. But they insist that Waterdeep be the ones that supply the defense around here. But the Castellan and the father, they both managed to get an agreement that allows us to hire the adventurers, which is non-standard, apparently. Although I can't see how that's the case, considering how lazy and lackadaisical the guards are around here.
That's right. I guess we go over the rabbit to finish his afternoon prayers. Question. I don't know if you may know, but you've said there have been others passing through the walls of the city. Do you know or have seen a trio of people? A sea elf, some tall lady with blonde hair, and a darker-skinned gentleman.
She'll, like, tilt her head and she'll say, it doesn't seem familiar. But if you're having questions like that, I would encourage you to go talk to Liferlos. He's over in one of the orchards on the outskirts of town. He, for a long time, he's seen pretty much everybody that comes through here. He's quite the attraction, so I'm sure if anybody's seen him, then it would probably be him. Liferlos. Let me spell it like how it spells in the book. Liferlos.
Who is he?
And
how will we find him?
She'll say, just look for. Let me find exactly what it says. Where he is.
Outside the city, like outside the walls of the city.
She'll shake her head no. She'll say, like, towards the outskirts of one of the fields. I just have to find where in the book Liferlos is situated. He's in one of the, orchards. I just need to find out which orchard Liferlos is in. Liferlos. Okay, there it is. Alright. She'll say that Liferlos is, towards... Actually, never mind. Liferlos is right over outside. I lied about his location. Liferlos is right outside, she will say. Right in this small grove of trees over right outside.
Guess we can kill time by
him while waiting for the abbot?
She'll look pretty excited and kind of like in a, kind of like a trickstery kind of mood, and she'll say like, "Oh, if you go see him, he's got kind of a green thumb, so, don't get too scared if he's not all that you expected." She'll just kind of
has a green thumb. That's it.
she'll kind of she'll look and she'll say like, "Yeah, he's in his old age he's a little willowy, but again, he's a kind sort. He's a kind sort. But again, if he's not what you expected him to be, don't hold it against him or anything." And with that, she'll very quickly kind of say like, well, I've got other duties to attend to. If you need anything, feel free to come back. And she will kind of scurry off into the rest of the temple and start attending to things.
Helio wants to like.
Helio wants to
look around and see where might the abbot be, the dude that we wanted to talk to.
When you step out the building, you see a straight shot to the middle of the village with the big old sundial. Let me be on the right layer so you can actually see my pings. You see a straight shot to the sundial in the middle of the village, and you see a small wooden podium, and standing atop it is the abbot, or at least somebody who you assume. He's wearing, like, priest vestments, and he's kind of giving a kind of speech to a bunch of farmers and workers and things like that.
Okay. He's right there.
Yes. But he
You wanna-
seems to be in the middle of something at the moment. I don't think we want to disturb him currently. Do we all want to go talk to this Lefferlas together, or did any of you want to break off and do something else?
I kind of want to talk to the guard captain, or the Castellan.
If we're still in the room with the bear's eye, I'm on the floor now. Telling the bears stuff.
Wait, before we leave, I'm gonna ask the bears very politely. Look, you two are very good here, but if I bring someone in and just give you a signal, I promise I'll give you like honey and sweets later, but you just scare the shit out of them a little.
They'll both like nod, like, yeah, we can do that. If there's honey and sweets involved, hell yeah, we can do that.
Good. Just making sure we're on the same page. You have a lovely day.
Do we want to try to kill two birds with one stone and have some people go speak to the captain of the guard and others go speak to Lifferlas and then convene when the abbot finishes his afternoon prayer? Mind that the captain's location is not very far from where we are.
Okay. Who's going with who? Where?
Helio wants to go to the green thumb dude.
I'll go with Helio then. Poe, do you want to go with Finch to interrogate the captain of the guard?
Poe is kind of off in a corner, scratching at her neck. And doesn't seem to have heard you.
Poe? I'm gonna go tap Poe on the shoulder.
I'm just giving Vesper just the look.
Yeah.
Poe, darling, would you like to accompany Finch? She's going to speak with the captain of the guard, and I'm sure she would need someone very, very capable of protecting her.
This one does not get along well with law enforcement officials. Are you sure that is a good idea?
Well, it's either that or talking to a possible tree.
While this is happening, can Dory do something? I would just move towards the door. I would just move and grab Finch. I would literally, like, take Finch by the wrist and leave. Because I don't want to be with Poe or Vesper. So this is my only option. I walk up, and I think this is the first time I've actually reached out and touched you, but I will gently take you by the wrist and lead you out. And we should go do the thing. I don't say anything, but...
Vespa.
You leave.
Oh,
You allow it.
Vespa, is it?
yes.
This one will follow them.
Okay.
And then Poe will stealthily follow behind, hoping that they don't notice that she's there.
Yeah, was that a good idea? Should I have done that?
He just kind of like shrugs.
Well, I guess let's go find Littleloss then.
Fly out the door.
I go follow Helio.
Alright.
And Poe follows Vesper along train.
Wait, so is Poe going with Finch and
I
Yuri?
think so.
Poe is
Just-
following her own path. It just happens to be in the same direction as you're going.
Can't believe you did that. I mean, I believe you did.
All right. So, we'll do my tree gang first. You guys go right outside the. I'm gonna pardon me for this horrible how Roll20 has done this. I'll reveal Liverloss to you here. Why he is so large, I do not understand. But I'm just gonna leave it because whatever. So you'll go into this orchard, and there are like a couple of kids kind of running about playing, and you'll kind of like follow them to the center of this orchard, and in the center there's a large tree ant, like, you know, like tossing the kids, like he's got like his limbs of the tree kind of like will go down and then kind of go up, and then like toss the kid into the air, and then the kid will kind of like grab onto the limb as they're falling back down. And the tree will let out like a hearty laugh and will kind of like continue playing along with the children. And the kids are like, you know, running around, screaming, having a really fun time. Like they're just running around having a good time.
I think we found our Littleloss. Helio.
He was not expecting a trade. He was expecting a man with a green thumb. Literal green thumb. What were we gonna ask him?
I mean, just possibly whether or not he's seen our friends, and maybe if he might know anything about what's going on here, or with giants in general. I mean, I wonder also if... Helio, you seem knowledgeable about plants. I mean, you did grow in a humongous tree in the middle of WrestleMania. But do you know if
I
tree
like to
ants
think
are all...
we grew a tree, but okay.
Excuse me, I was asleep that entire time, so I did not know that you stole that bean out of my bag. That you gave me, mind you.
Stole, borrowed. Let's not play semantics. Let's leave that to the spellcast.
We are spellcasters, Helio. Do you know if all tree ants are connected in some sort of way? Do you think he would have known about Vineyard? You remember Vineyard, right? From
Yes.
Ardy Forest. Do you think he would have known who he was, or are they connected in some sort of way? Do you know that? Do I know that?
DM, would I know that?
You can make me, both of you, history, nature, or arcana checks to determine the nature of their connection, if
I
any.
would like to do the nature.
Do me some nature. That's a good nature. That's a less good nature. So Helio, you would know that it depends really on how old the treants are. Very, very old treants can pretty much like, in a way, like psionically communicate with other plants and trees like around them for a large radius. Younger treants, on the other hand, like we're talking like treants that are like between like 1 and like maybe like 250 years old, like they can't, like they don't really know what's going on. But treants that are like 250, like 500 plus, they can pretty much communicate with a lot of like pretty much every other like living plant entity within a pretty large radius around them.
You look at Vesper and like, I don't know. Does he look old to you?
I don't know. All trees kind of look the same at this size.
Don't tell me you're a tree.
Wow. Stand
I
up.
just call them like I see them. He looks very similar to Vineyard. I don't know. I don't want to make assumptions.
Can I gather his age from afar, or would I need to like?
You can, yeah, I would
him?
say you could make me another nature check, a nature or maybe survival check to kind of determine age.
I'd like to do nature.
You look at the area around the tree as well as the tree itself, and you determine that this village, though it is old, this like small orchard, this little garden, is new. New in the tree sense. You kind of look at the trees around here, and you're not seeing any trees that are older than maybe 150 years old. And you kind of like look at those trees, and you conclude like they're all about the same height, they're all about the same species. So unless this tree is some particularly special, out of the ordinary tree that was not like infused with some kind of magic, then it is probably about the same age as these other trees.
Okay. So then I would say, he doesn't look old in 3 years.
Well, I guess there's no harm in asking. I'll go walk up to Nicholas.
I just want the quote, "He doesn't look old in 3 years." I want that added to the record, everyone. I don't know. Like, there are some things, like, people always say, like, oh, the things the DM has to look up, and, like, the things the DM has to say. Man, having my players say, he doesn't look that old in 3 years, that's a highlight of my career right there, if I've ever seen one. But anywho, so you go up to Lifferlos, and you'll approach, and the kids will stop playing with Lifferlos, because Lifferlos, they love the guy, but he's been there, their entire lives, so they don't really like, they see these two new fancy adventuring types kind of come over, and they all scatter around you, and they all kind of like, they're like, ooh, what's this? And they'll try to like grab your sword, and they'll like look in your bag and try to see what's inside. They'll just like toss you like a ball or something. Like they'll try to like play with you, and assuming you guys don't immediately take to it, Lifferlos will kind of like brush them away with his like longer branches, and he'll say like, please children, please, we have visitors, let us be kind to them. And they'll all like nod and kind of like listen to the tree, and we'll sit down like as though they're like ready for story time.
I feel like Helio was trying to dip, dodge, and weave grabby hands.
It's like in Toy Story 4, essentially. Like you're in the kindergarten, and you're like surrounded, like, yeah. Yeah, that is essentially what you run into. Like just a ton of kids, all trying to like manhandle you in some way. But they'll all sit down, they'll all listen to Lifferlos, and they'll all sit down like crisscross applesauce, and they'll sit down as though they're ready to listen to like a story time. Lifferlos will kind of look at you with like a smile, and he'll say like, come on children, and he'll kind of gesture you guys to sit down, like along with the rest of the kids.
Sit
He
down.
would take a spot on the ground, as far away from the children as he can.
He'll smile, and he'll look at you, and he'll say like, but it's not often we get outsiders from around here. what are you guys doing out here? You guys certainly don't seem like the average folk coming from Waterdeep.
No, we hail from lands much farther than Waterdeep. But we come to Goldenfields.
He'll stop you and he'll immediately say, like, oh, I can tell you come from lands much more exotic, much more pristine and brilliant than the comparatively drab plains around here. And he'll go off onto a side tangent about a very like extravagant, like over the top even by Fey standards for like what the Feywild is like, and all the kids will like ooh and ah, like ooh, giant mushrooms everywhere, and oh my goodness, there's like 100-foot long birds, oh my goodness, you know, and like you're kind of like, yeah, some of this is true, but you're kind of like rolling your eyes like, well, you haven't seen it for real, you're a tree, so I mean, like, what do you know?
Ilya would pull out one of the glowing green mushrooms.
Oh,
Like,
the kids. The kids will lap it up, and they'll look at the mushroom, try to like grab it from you, but like again, Liferlos will kind of like keep them from you, and he'll like work it into his story in some way, and he'll say like, oh yes, these travelers probably got this from like a giant like mushroom, you know, like being of some kind, you know, probably 20 feet tall, you know, and they'll like go off on another little tangent. But after refocusing himself, he will say, but tell me, continue, what are you doing out here?
So, I guess to make it short and sweet, we were sent out here in order to aid someone that came through recently. A frost giant by the name of Harshnag. I don't know if you saw him or heard of him from any individuals that came by you.
He'll like nod, and as much as a tree can nod, and he'll say, not only did I see him, he stopped very briefly in this orchard of mine, and I shook his hand, or I guess he shook my branch, more like, and we got acquainted. I've heard good things about him from travelers and from folks around town, and he seems like a kind fellow to me. I hope to meet him more in the future.
Did he mention anything to you about the whole possible siege of the city and giants?
He'll nod, and he'll have
Particularly what exactly is going on with giants in general.
He'll nod, and he'll have a kind of grim expression, and he'll say, yes, I fear that the giants may eventually come for this village. I will use my powers as much as I can to aid in the defense, but should they come, I'm unsure of my own abilities, to be fair. And the kids will all kind of like stand up and be like, no, you can do it, you're a living tree, man, you can do it, and then they'll kind of like settle him down again, like, nah, I'm not that powerful. This just sounds like a cell phone, like somebody's cell phone's going off. Jesus, can you guys hear this?
Yeah, I heard that.
It sounds like a cell phone's going off, and it just like threw me off guard completely. He'll settle them down, and he'll say, yes, but he didn't mention anything to me about how the giants have been acting, but rest assured, I've been around long enough to know that the giants being this aggressive and this forward, it's not like them. It's not like them, especially to organize. In the past, when there have been giant attacks, there's only been maybe 1, 2, perhaps 3, but by the way Harshnag tells it, there's plenty of them, and they're coming.
As far as we know, and that we have heard, the ordning has been demolished somehow, and now all of these giants are looking to ravage Faerun in some sort of way, for some sort of reason. We recently came through a city near Ardite Forest that was taken by giants, well, attacked by giants, not taken per se.
He'll look at you, and he'll nod, like, understandingly, but after a while, he'll kind of like stop you, and he'll say, "Unfortunately, friend, I know little of giant politics. All I know is that the ones that live around here, the hill giants, particularly brutish sort, and they don't show the same love and remorse for these villagers. Not remorse, but like the same love and care for these villagers that they should. These are kind folk trying to eke out a meager existence. And I fear that if they manage to cross the walls, a lot could be lost."
Do you fear that they will be able to do so?
He'll say, in all my years that I've been in this town, which admittedly is not many, I've never seen many things capable of crossing the walls. However, I fear that that's made people around here complacent, and I think all it would take would be one confluence of bad events, ill omens from the goddess, and I think this village could fall apart very quickly.
I mean, that has already technically occurred recently, hasn't it? All of the statues being twisted and not being what they're supposed to be. Isn't that some sort of omen?
He'll look at you and he'll say, "Yes, it is, but what it means I cannot tell. The goddess, Shantia, she's definitely trying to tell us something. The statues speak of remorse and of loss, of death and of suffering, but I, in my limited wisdom, cannot make out what on earth she's trying to display with these messages." He'll add, though, that, whatever it is, the goddess, she wouldn't manifest her powers in a way, as much as I love the people of this village, they're minor in comparison to the grand scheme of, like a goddess, and she wouldn't manifest her powers in such a way if the thing she was warning about were not serious. And though I may view the loss of this village as serious, to her, that might only be a minor setback in the grand scheme. I fear that something much, much worse is happening, but what it is I cannot say.
Do you by chance know what happened in Arctic Forest not too long ago?
He'll look confused and he'll say, aside from potentially losing a great friend, I know very little about what happened there.
Technically, so do we. I mean, we were there when it happened, but afterwards, it was all blur.
He'll look at you like surprised, like you were there, and he'll you'll see like in his eyes, you'll see like a "damn it, I wish I had legs" kind of look, like man, I wish I could walk. And he looks at you like oh, that's insane. You were there, you saw the destruction of the forest. I pity you. I can only imagine what that felt like. The treant there, should you have met him, Vineyard, a true friend, a compatriot of mine. But he seems to have either died or has gone into hibernation of some kind. And I know not what happened, but from what little I can sense through my roots and through the weave, I can sense that there was a great loss of life, and some great tragedy occurred there.
Do you know of any magic that would turn people into trees?
He'll shake his head no, but he will say, I was not turned into a tree, but I was made to be sentient by a long-dead druid, whose name is, I have to pull up Lifferloss's notes in the book, named Airglass. I don't know. I'll spell it out, and you guys can determine how you want to pronounce it. G-L-A-S. Airglass. But yes, Airglass. A long dead druid. Her name was Airglass. And long ago, she brought me into being to protect the people of this village, as part of their service to the Emerald Enclave. But her fate, I know not exactly what happened to her. She was an Eladrin, quite a stunning one, and she either returned to the Feywild or she's dead, and I know not her fate. No, you would not have heard of Airglass. You would assume it's just like, there's a lot of elves live in the Feywild, probably just another, probably wouldn't know an Airglass if you passed him on the street.
Haley would get an excited look on his face and be like, "Ah, look, see, there's another one, like you."
But yeah, he'll kind of have like a sullen look on his face for a moment. But he'll eventually shake himself back to his friendly, jovial self, and he'll say, "Is there anything else you need, friends? I'm at your beck and call. I just have to keep one eye on the swivel, just make sure that there's not any giants attacking." And he'll kind of let out like a half laugh, half like uh-oh.
Vesper.
Area.
I have an idea.
Yes.
He's here to protect this place, okay?
Okay.
I think we should give him a bean.
I'm not against. No. One last question, before we leave you. We were told by the woman at the Abbey that you tend to meet a lot of people that come through here. Do you happen to have seen recently 3 people, a sea elf, a tall blonde lady with a hammer, and some dark-skinned man with a hood?
He'll shake his head no. And he'll say, no, but I have no, he'll just say no. No, he hasn't heard anything of the sort.
That's okay. I was just curious. So, as a thank you for allowing us this conversation, my friend and I would like to give you a gift. We've acquired this back in Waterdeep by a friend of my friend here, and maybe you could put it to some use, possibly?
Helio's just kind of beaming.
Roll me, if you're going to hand him one random bean, roll me a d7.
Yeah. D7. How do you do that?
/R1d7. That is, you guys, it was a bag of 8 beans, right? Just so I can remember right?
Yeah.
Okay, alright, then you've already used one. Yeah, bag 1d7.
/R space 1d7?
Yes,
Or no space?
yes. Alright, let me just mark that in my notes, what beans we have used. Okay. He will take the bean from you, and he'll examine it, and he'll say, "Ah, great power this holds. Are you sure you don't want to hang on to it?"
We have more.
He'll look and he'll smile and he'll say "Ah, well, surely you must trust me quite a bit if you're willing to give me this. And I'm sure I can assure you, I will put it to great use. Thank you."
Whichever one it is, we hope that it could help in the protection of the city, whatever it is that you do.
He'll smile and he'll give you a nod, an affirmative, and then after a moment of silence, you'll kind of listen to the ambiance a little bit for a second. He'll kind of extend a branch out to one of the children, and the children will all kind of know that's the signal, all right, boys, time to get back into action, and they'll all get up and start screaming and yelling and running around and having a grand old time again.
Like clockwork.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that was quite informative.
Yeah. Should we go find the others?
Um, I think we should go back to the road that leads to the abbey in order to meet with the abbot before he heads into the abbey, so at least we can speak to him.
Okay.
I'm sure the others, when they're finished, they'll find us.
Alright, and with that, we will transition to our others. Where are our others at? Where were they going? Were they going to go see the abbot themselves?
I think we're trying to find a captain or a guard.
Captain of the Guard, that's right. Okay. Alright. So, on the hunt for a captain of the guard, I would assume your first step would be to interrogate a guard that's kind of patrolling the streets, looking, and say, like, hey, where's the captain of the guard at? They will direct you to, let me just double check, make sure I've got the right location so that I'm not telling you guys everything that is wrong. They will direct you down this main road here, towards this small little roundabout, like half roundabout, over here. And they will direct you specifically to, let me double check, it is this building right here. It's sort of like the constable's office. And he'll say, like, that's where the captain of the guard hangs out, that's where the guard, like, is stationed, and if you're looking for the captain of the guard, probably hanging out there, or if he's not there, he's in the brewery.
Okay. We should probably check out the brewery first, just from what we know.
Alright. You will, you'll stroll down the roads, and you'll see lots of different people rolling about, just kind of, going about their daily business. It's quite the lively town it is, and there's just, like, you'll see lots of people making do with what they have. Huge fields of wheat and barley and different, like, grassy type crops are kind of growing around you. And as you're walking up the road, you pass by a big livestock pen full of, let me double check, I think it's sheep, cows, and goats, yes. You'll see a bunch of sheep, cows, and goats, and you'll see a shepherd with kind of a shifty-eyed gaze is kind of like helping out, keep them under, like, control. And as he's doing this, his his dog that he's using, his, like, shepherd dog, will kind of see you guys and bark and, like, run over. Go like brr, 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 and it will run over. And he'll kind of come over and he'll like say, like, no, settle down, no, and he'll kind of like shove it away from you guys, and he'll say, like, sorry, he's fairly new to the whole shepherding thing. Hopefully you can forgive him.
Of course. Can I pet him?
He'll, like, look at you, as though he is making an insight check. And he'll say, I don't know, you're definitely not from around here, and I don't know if I trust outsiders, but, you don't seem like the ill-willed sort, so you can give him a pet if you want.
Immediately pets the dog, just, like, giving little, like, kisses. It's a dog.
It will like initially be a little bit like hesitant, but after a second it will, like, roll over. It's loving it. It'll, like, the streets are kind of muddy because it's kind of like it's like right after a fresh rain. It'll roll around in the mud. It will just, like, it will really love it.
Oh, good boy. I'll, like, prestidigitation the mud off it.
No, you don't need to, because it will stand right up and shake the mud all over. And get mud all over. Everybody who is within, like, 5 feet of it will get drenched in mud, including the owner, who will kind of do, like, the, like, Jetsons or, like, the Flintstones, like, down, boys, stop it, no, don't do that, no, but, it's no use.
Let me get that. And she'll, like, prestidigitate herself first to show him what she's about to do, then just with a quick motion prestidigitation the mud off of him.
He'll look like you've just performed some great miracle, and he'll be like, oh, I don't know what on earth you just did, but that's impressive. and he'll kind of like laugh, and he'll say like, maybe you could teach me that someday.
It's, if you're looking to learn, it's one of the lesser feats of magic. Have you ever studied magic? You could be a wizard.
He'll look at you like, again, like you're smoking, like you're on like a meth pipe, and he'll say like, magic around here, the most magic we got is in the temple and right next door with that giant tree thing.
The what?
The giant tree thing, you know, the one with the beard.
Yeah. Bearded tree, okay. I'm kind of curious. You live here. What do you think of the captain of the guard?
He'll say, I think the captain of the guard's doing a fantastic job. Personally, I can't seem to fault him on anything he's doing.
Hello. Nice.
Is Yuri also covered in mud?
Yes, you are, Yuri. You are also covered in lamud.
I'll just stand there patiently, waiting to get cleaned off. Just sort of staring at this person and the dog that I'm not acknowledging.
Yuri's not going to pet the dog? Wow.
Well, not if he's gonna jump on me.
Control clean off Yuri.
I'll wait till he calms down.
I'm just gonna ask the guy what he thinks of the captain of the guard.
He'll say, I struggle to find any fault with the captain of the guard. I think, let me pull up his name to make sure I've got it right, because there's like a million people in here that are all in control, and they're all different. I think, Captain Tarum is doing I think Captain Thunderblade is doing a fantastic job. And I see, no reason why anybody faults him.
Of course. Then he came from Waterdeep, right?
He'll say, yes, the noble city. And it shows he's a wonderful sort.
Right. Out of curiosity, we're a little worried about the town's defense. We've recently fought giants, and we're concerned for all the people living here, so we're looking to find him and tell him what we've encountered. Do you know where we could find him?
He'll nod and he'll say, you don't need to be worried. The only thing that's keeping this town back is the naysayers and the people that don't have trust in the guard captain himself. But if you are looking for him, he should be to the north in the guardhouse.
Well, thank you very much. Have a lovely day, and if you just hear screaming, run. Just run. Giants are awful. Just run.
He'll look at you, and he was like about to say his name. He's about to say like, I'm, and then you say, if you hear screaming, run. He'll retract his hand again, like going away from the handshake, and he'll say like,
no, not like that. But it's just the walls. I don't know if you've seen them recently, but I climbed one out of boredom. I knew the guards. It was all fine. And the giants I fought could easily walk over them. I'm just a little worried for you. You're out here with sheep and a dog that barks a lot. Just maybe be safe. Do you want a knife?
He'll roll his eyes and he'll say like, city folk. I'll be fine. I'll make do. You can keep the knife, and he'll push your hand away, like, we don't need to get weapons involved here. And he'll say, I'm Shalvis. Nice to meet you.
I'm Goldfinch, a traveling bard. It has been a pleasure.
Yeah, traveling, I can tell. You're not from around here. And he'll kind of grab his dog and kind of, like, mosey back to his work with a brisk pace. Like, he is not wanting to stay around any longer than he has to.
That man's gonna be the first one to die when they break those walls. Go see him running up with pitchfork. Either way, let's check the bar just before we head over to the guard place.
Okie dokie. Let me just do one more thing on my end. Let me note that, sad man is now very scared of the whole party. Everyone. Literally everybody. No, he has no faith.
That's fair.
Where even is this on the map? Am I missing something? Hello? Oh, okay, there we go. Alright, we're good. Okay, I just...
the energy of, like, the guy in a horror movie that, like, is the first one to die that just goes out with, like, the sheep looking for a sheep, and their dog is, like, barking at a trail, and then they go look at it, and there's, like, a flash where it cuts off to, like, the police investigation team. That's all I can imagine.
And the whole time you're thinking, please do not let that dog be dead.
I love that dog. That dog is beautiful.
But anyways, you'll continue on down the path, and here, let me bring. Actually, he has a token. Let me make him available so you guys can see him. Oh no, I drew on the map. Go away. There we go. And yep, there he is. That's our friend. That's who we just met. Anyways, you will continue down the path, and eventually you will arrive at this little semicircle of buildings, which has a couple of smaller homesteads. Though they are smaller, they appear to be much nicer. Like, these are, like, kind of like the noble homesteads a little bit. There is one small guard barracks over here, this kind of, like, domed kind of tower, like this, like, not domed, but, like, conical tower over here. Has a couple of guards patrolling it. And the constable's office is right over here, and the brewery is right up the road.
So we have to pass the constable's office to get to the brewery?
Yes, the constable's office is right over here to your right.
Yeah, okay, I'll check in just to peek into the first so everyone's alright with that.
Okay. You'll kind of like peek in, and inside you will see, let me double check this guy's thing. You will see a very fancily dressed guy, with a bushy beard, and kind of a, like, pompous kind of demeanor about him. And he'll say, like, where on earth is that boorish twit of a guard captain? Where did he go?
Fucking called it.
And he'll kind of, like, stomp around a little bit. And he'll see you guys kind of, like, standing in the doorway. And he'll say, like, well, don't just stand there! Go find him! You're probably under his hire.
I'm just gonna very, very politely walk up to this man. I am afraid we most certainly are not. Though we are interested in looking for him. Who might you be?
He'll, like, stare down his nose at you, and he'll say, I, in case you didn't know,
I'm
going to not very politely glare at him from directly behind.
He'll say, I am the great, right honorable, Hanatus Taram, and I will expect you to address me as such. I am an aspiring politician from Waterdeep. Surely you've heard of it. The Jewel of the North. The most prosperous city here on the Sword Coast. You have me and many like me to thank that you're even alive.
I really don't.
He'll...
But here's the thing, Mr. Penis Terrace. We're looking for...
I'm sorry, what?
I'm afraid I'm a tad worried about the safety of this village, and we really need to speak with the guard captain. Can you just put me in his direction?
He'll, like, scoff, and he'll, like, say, like, there is no way I will be sending you to his side. He is, almost as useless as you are. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have important business to attend to. And he'll kind of, like, shuffle off into the back of the office and start yelling at some of the officers back there who, it seems like, based on the yelling, are having a drink.
I hate this man so much. And just plotting his death in her mind. Well, if this
Yuri
room's
was,
empty,
like,
can I?
all tense. Yuri turns and looks at Finch and goes, "That man was very pleasant."
Well, can't be worse than a fucking dragon. Let's go. She'll, like, just very subtly message the guy. How do I message this man? Yuri, you wanna fuck with that guy? So I can just, like, send words into his head freely.
This is your conscience.
This is your conscience.
I can just make fart noises continuously in his head just to mess with him.
Trying very hard not to laugh at that. That doesn't sound very polite, Finch.
I mean, full offense intended to that man, he wasn't very polite to us, and he dresses like he's not polite to anyone else either.
Yeah, well, that, yeah, he can do that. He gets away with it. Kind of like gestures around them of the whole, operation. Yeah. Fancy assholes. Not my first time dealing with them.
Well, me neither, but, I mean, I'm petty. I can get revenge. We're adventurers, Yuri, amazing fighter. Come on, have you never really just punched a guy?
No. Yes. I get arrested immediately. Usually. When I was younger, I got in a lot of fights. I learned I'm not going to do that.
Well, it's a shame I wasn't there. I would have gotten you all out of pretty much any arrest.
I like the fart noises. I think that's a good idea. I can punch, and if you want me to, I can go around punching people if that's what you want me to do.
No,
but I
no.
assume the group did it. What? I mean, I assume the group did not approve of such things. So
If you want to punch someone, I support you punching them, but don't feel the need to.
it feels like conflicting statement.
I'm just gonna start saying fart noises to his head, and Finch immediately just starts sending, like, fart noises to the guy's head. Like, every now and then, just a low, instead of fart noises, just a low screeching sound, just to mess with him.
Okay. You start, you kind of like focus your thoughts on this, and as you're doing it, you sense that it works for a second, but then your focus, your sort of like minor, you kind of have to concentrate on this just a little bit, and your small concentration is broken after a moment as a doubly loud, like 2 or 3 times as loud as you echoed it into his head, echoes through your head, just like the loudest fart noise you've ever heard. Let me do like the...
Return to sender.
Give me a second.
Yuri were punching a man.
Here we go. Alright, I need like a... There we go. This is the noise I want. Give me a second.
Yeah, apparently we're going to yell tonight. That's very clear.
There you go. That's the noise that echoes in your head. You don't know exactly what this man did, but you can assume that he's of noble birth. He probably knows at least some kind of magic, at least a little bit, like enough to kind of like maybe get him around, like, you know, like a mage hand and stuff like that. So you can assume like he probably knows the trick. He probably knows the way around a little bit, and he probably did like a little reversal of fortune on you.
It's just filled with extreme, both kind of good on him energy as well as I must destroy this man energy. She will go to the captain.
All right. You will enter the brewery, and inside are two half-elven, I guess like beer tenders, and they seem like a husband and wife, and they're kind of like talking amongst each other with like a worried expression. And you'll see off at like there's like a bar, and slouched over the bar is this half-orc guy, and he's singing a song. He's like, oh, all the orcs in the north, blah, 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 blah. And he's kind of like sloshing the beer around. It's making a big old mess. And you see the other two in the corner kind of discussing, like they seem a little worried about something.
She'll walk up to the couple. Are you two all right?
They'll look at you and they'll say like, oh, are you here to collect your captain?
My captain? Yes, absolutely.
They'll nod and they'll like have like the oh, thank God, okay. They'll say like, oh, great. He was said he'd just be going, and that he was just waiting for some guards or adventurers or something to come and pick him up. And so I'm assuming that you're his entourage. If you could just escort him out of the premises and get him back to his job, that would be great.
Of course. I'm so sorry for all this trouble.
They'll nod, like, politely, but they'll, like, look at you like, it was a lot of trouble. Like, come on now.
I just sent the bill to his good friend. What was the guy we just met's name?
His name was Henitus Taram.
Henitus Taram. He feels so bad for all of this. And I'll, like, start walking towards the guard.
They'll look at you like you're insane. And they'll, like, be like... And you'll hear one of them whisper, like, did Castellan Taram, like, fall and hit his head or something? Like, what? He doesn't, like, he's gonna pay for the bill of Strong? What? Straw?
It's a new development.
And they'll kind of, like, they'll look like, what are you talking about? But they won't question it, and one of them will, like, go back into a back room, and you can probably, like, discern, probably just drafting up some notes on, like, how much, I guess Mr. Taram now owes them. But, yeah, you'll approach him, and he'll say, like, you're here to buy me another round, friend. Come on, sit down.
I would love to, but I'm afraid you are being very trashy at the moment, and we really need to get you out of here.
He'll look at you and he'll splash beer in your face, not like intentionally, but kind of like, you know, like he's like shocked at the thought, and it's like, no way, I just one more, you just give me one more, and we can take it for the road. We can put it to the to-go cup, and we'll be on our way out of here. Don't worry.
Fitch, just quickly
I'm going
prestidigitation
to
the beer offer.
myself into this. So sorry. I'm gonna interrupt you. I'm going to insert myself into this the second because that's not happening. I'm gonna grab the beer. I'm going to move it behind me and just sort of offhandedly hand it behind me the fence. And with my other hand, I want to just, if he's wearing a shirt or something, I want to grab him by the shirt and I want to get in his face.
Okay.
Say, hi, an Orcus.
Yeah, you can easily do that. And you see in his eyes, like, so he's a half-orc, but he's not built like you are. He's built kind of like a city boy, you know. He's kind of got like a little pudge about him. He's kind of like, he's more human than he is orc, you know. He's definitely kind of like on like the the toy poodle side of the like orc spectrum. And he kind of like, he's scrawnier than you. He's definitely a lot shorter. And you kind of do this to him, and he looks up at you. And at first, you can see like a brief like flash of like uh-oh in his eyes, but then he kind of like smiles. He says like, "Ah, you here? Are you here to raid the village? Huh? You're here to take on the big guard captain, huh?"
In Orcish, Yuri says, "Choose your next words very carefully."
He'll say back in very broken Orcish, like Orcish that is hardly legible. He'll say like, you wanna buy me around? Come on, I mean, we can talk this out. Sit down, grab a chair."
I'm just going to push him back. He's not even worth my time. I'm just going to push him back, let go of him. I still have the beer in my other hand, turn around. Just sort of drink it a little bit.
Okay.
And then sort of walk away with Finch. If he doesn't say anything.
He'll look at you and he'll say like, "Oh, bring that back! I want the beer. Bring it back." But he won't get up. He'll kind of just he'll like lean over and like almost fall onto the floor, but then kind of like steady himself, like kind of like re-get his like balance and kind of just like slouch back on the counter. And we'll continue to kind of sing a little bit.
Finch is gonna just kind of lean down towards him and cast Charm Person.
Okay. Can you link me Charm Person?
Yeah, because I want to test a theory.
You attempt to charm a humanoid.
Charmed.
Let's make wisdom saving throw. Alright, I have to make a wisdom saving throw for this dude. Give me a second. Oh, he actually did pretty well.
So there no like downsides of being drunk on a wisdom save?
I'll give him disadvantage. I think that's a fair enough point. That's a fair point. I'll give him disadvantage on that. We'll see. We'll see how he does. That's a fair enough point.
See if you can,
Oh yeah, there you go.
Someone to be sober.
If it fails, it is charmed by you until the spell ends, until you're the charmed creature regards you.
Technically, being drunk is being poisoned by alcohol.
Oh, yeah, well then there you go.
That's a restoration restores, cures poison. I'm just saying.
I don't have lesser restoration though.
Okay, what do you want to, he's definitely charmed with that roll, so what do you want to do to him?
Oh, yeah, I think you've had one too many. Come on, there's a surprise waiting outside. Let's go.
He'll like stand up and he'll follow right on behind. He won't say very much. He'll kind of just like, stalk on behind you, kind of like with his heavy feet, kind of like clomp, 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 clomping across the room. And you'll hear as you guys get to the door, you'll hear the two half elves say like, "Oh, have a nice day," and like as you guys leave, one of them will be like right close behind you, and the second you guys are outside of the door, like you can't even reach your hand out behind you to go and close the door again. Do you hear the door like slam behind you? And then you hear like a lock kind of like hastily being like click 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 click, like please, and the door is very thoroughly shut.
Yeah, that's completely fair. Would you mind? We're about to see if this works. Can you sober up a little? We have some questions.
He won't entirely be perfectly there, but he'll kind of look a little bit like he came back to it a little bit more serious. Like he stopped the singing and he kind of he'll sit there still, and he won't try to fidget about or do anything wily. I mean, it's yeah, questions. What do you have for me?
We're worried about the town's defense. We recently fought an encampment of giants very, very close by, and your walls are extremely easy to get over.
Defense. Back in my day, you guys worry too much. All these adventuring types, they come in here and they tell me how to do my job. I think I know what I'm doing. I think these walls, they've held back people for generations. This village, the last time it came under attack was when my granddad, he used to fuse to be in a tribe, and he used to come to this village, and they raided it once, and they barely got over the walls. So if they couldn't do it, then nobody can. That's impossible. So I don't think anything's wrong.
Okay. Counter argument. How about we play a game?
I like games.
Well, you see, your guards and your schedule, whatever's happening here, it's not good. I bet you clearly need help, and you clearly need to stop drinking and do your job. I bet you that if I can get past any point in your wall's defense at any time that you specify, because I'm very confident I can, you have to listen to that stuck-up leader of yours to some extent.
Make me a persuasion check with advantage. He'll nod and he'll say like, I trust my guards, so they won't let you through for a second. Where you can pick anywhere on the wall, they'll drive you back.
And you're willing to go to the leader right now and make a deal with this.
The second you say that, his eyes will kind of go a little shifty, you know, say like, you want me to talk to Taram about? I mean, if you could talk to Taram, that'd be super great. But me talk to Taram. I mean, you could.
How about we talk to Taram? I mean, you are a man of your word, aren't you? You just accepted my challenge. Surely you will not deny me such a simple.
He'll nod, and he'll have like a sense of pride behind the nod, but also a sense of like, you are nuts. Are you taking me to that guy? But he'll like stand up and he's like, well, let's get it over with.
We're getting this place secure because these fuckers won't survive giants. Yuri, let's go. And I guess we go find Charon.
Okay, you go back to the constable's office and you see him. He slams the door behind him. And he's got two big things of ale in his hands, like he's carrying them out. And just as he's about to he's kind of like about halfway out of the building, he's about to go spill them onto the ground, so that way he kind of like gets rid of the alcohol. He like steps out. He's like stepping out of the store. He slams the first one behind him, and he kind of like sees you guys coming, and he slams the second door behind him. And as he's kind of like dumping them onto the ground, he says like, "Oh, there you are! Ugh, you finally brought that twit back here."
Wow, this place is poorly managed.
He'll take like his fist and he'll like bonk him on the head. And let me find like. Oh. Let me find. Oh man, there's a gif of Patrick that I really want to use here. It's the one of him like where he gets like his head like flattened and like his teeth. He's got like that dumb smile on his face. God. I don't know. Whatever. I'll find it after the session. But he'll take his fist and like smash it onto the orc guy's head, and he'll kind of just like stick his tongue out and kind of do like a kind of like laugh, and then he'll say like, "You oaf! What are you doing? You're wasting valuable time. Get back into your position," and he'll like shove him away from you guys a little bit.
I'm afraid that, as amusing as this is to watch, there's a bit of a disagreement with me and him, and we've made a rather fair deal. Your walls, you see, are shit. Absolute shit. I climbed up them out of boredom. Bears had gone past them out of boredom. Literally terrible, and there's an army outside of them. You are aware of this, correct?
He'll look at you and he'll kind of like... He'll sit there as if he's about to prepare like a PowerPoint presentation about why you're wrong. And he'll say like, well, first of all, the bears got in, at least if you believe the crackpot abbot, that they some kind of gift from from their god. I don't even know. Nothing like what we worship. Some kind of nuisance to me. But they believe it's some kind of blessing and that it's something to be cherished and worshipped. So I don't question it. The walls are fine. There hasn't been an attack here in a century at least. So I mean, any concern you have is far below me. And if you have any real concern, bring it to Waterdeep, and I'm sure they'll do nothing about it.
Well, that's the thing. You see, something's already been done about it. You see, the captain of the guard, who I'd imagine, if I brought forward to the people, would have a very hard time explaining why you prevented him from keeping his word, has made a deal with me.
What's the deal?
Well, I have no faith in your walls, and great concern for your citizens, as I hope you share that concern. And we've agreed that if he names his place in the wall, I can get through it. Just get past it. Any of his guards, any of his walls. And if that is true, and I succeed, they have to be fixed and properly managed.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Shit. Sounds about right. I'm gonna check my bard stuff. If I see anything, I have anything, I don't.
But you're a bard.
I'm a bard. Let's go. 25.
Oh yeah, you're good. Let me just double check. Let me make sure this guy doesn't get like a nat 20 or something.
Exactly.
Okay, now he'll look very begrudgingly, and he'll like seem like he's doing the mental math in his head, and he'll say like, "Do we get time to prepare for this little charade you're pulling?"
Of course not. You believe your walls are safe enough that you can withstand giants. I'm a bard, and you think you need time to prepare.
He'll look and he'll say like, fair enough. Go, do what you will. Take this one with you, and he'll shove the half-orc guard captain with you, and he'll say like, whatever your results, don't report them to me. And he'll kind of like walk back and go back into the constable's office.
She'll message him. I report whatever I want, and it'll be directed to you. And she's gonna go out.
Okay.
The guard captain.
The guard captain will stumble on ahead of you towards the walls, and kind of like swivering and swavering across the road, kind of just doing what making himself as long as he goes. He'll sing a song as he goes. He'll sing a little ditty. He'll invite some people working in the fields to join in with him, and they'll do it like half-heartedly, you know, like a half-assed kind of like, you know, like they'll try, but they won't really try.
Is gonna ask him, where's the nearest largest center of your population where I might find a lot of people?
He'll point.
Surely we should witness this.
He'll point this way towards the big, like center of the round houses over here, and he'll say like, "That's where they all live. That's the big old village. That's where they all live. That's where they live."
Okay. Does Finch know that Poe is following them?
I was very stealthy.
Poe, you can make a stealth check
Alright.
with advantage because it's pretty grassy around here. So I'll
Yeah.
say with advantage, you can hide pretty easily.
I like grass.
I smoke grass every day.
There we go.
Oh yeah, I mean,
That
yeah, you guys can do
there?
perception. You guys can do perception, but we'll see here.
No.
Nope.
Okay, then she's gonna send Anarchy out with...
Oh, Yuri
Oh,
knows.
Jesus.
Yuri knows.
I hate Poe. I fucking hate Poe.
Yuri
I'm-
definitely knows.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye out for sure.
I will say with
really-
that role, like Yuri basically has like a leash on Poe and is kind of like no, bad, get back, get out of the grass, out of the
No.
grass. No, you definitely
I would
know.
say- well, Finch and I were in the talking to this person. I think Yuri was behind, and I imagine that he was just very amused by this entire conversation of Finch just blatantly harassing. Yuri was so into it. And when you turned around, he's just grinning at you, and then we'll follow you out. And the second I think you go back out, I think he immediately zooms in on Poe. And under his breath in Orcish, he goes, I fucking knew it. And
I'm gonna. Wait, does Yuri tell Finch Poe is there?
yeah, he'll look down at you. The new one's following them.
Perfect. I have a plan. It is going to work. She's gonna message Poe. Poe, I need you to do me a favor. You can respond
would
to
see
this.
Poe like have both of her hands up to her head, like looking around mildly.
No, this is magic. You can just speak back normally.
Ruby's grinning again. Because I can hear half of this out loud.
Okay.
You see, I'm pretty sure they're either going to prepare for this or do nothing about this. And I could use a little help making sure I do actually get through the wall. Though obviously I'm amazing and can't. Could you go find Vesper and Helio? I may need a little help with what I'm about to do.
Poe is not an errand girl.
That is completely fair, if you don't want to do that. There may be some people I need you to politely remove from a situation.
Ah, this one can do that.
Wonderful. I tell you where. Lend me a little hand. This place doesn't get burned to the ground by giants.
Why do we care if it gets burned to the ground by giants?
Because people live here. And I mean, I don't want people to die. I want to help people. And generally when people are in bad situations, you hate cultists, right? Don't you know how they form? Most people don't turn to cults if they have good lives.
Poe is impressed with you. This one would help you.
Thank you. And Finch is gonna just like full-on presentation to make herself like glitter and sparkle and shine a little. And go to like the nearest. Find somewhere tall to stand on, where there's a crowd.
Okay. Yeah. Also, I just want to point out that every time Finch says something, it feels like it's like a no. She's got a point. Like it feels like that. It feels
really.
like.
Like I was thinking to myself, there's no way she's gonna be able to convince Poe with this. And then like, what? You're right.
Finch hates rich people and wants people to be and wants to help poor people and wants just to make people's lives better. And she really hates both the guard captain and this guy, and she's going to both do something that'll both embarrass them and hopefully benefit everyone living in this area.
Okay.
She's going to take this chance.
All right. Well, you can definitely lead him. He'll again, like, he won't follow. He'll lead very far ahead, and he'll sing, and he'll do little dances, and he'll, hang out. Try to like interact with people, and they'll all kind of like be like, yeah, hi, hello, nice to see you. Hope we don't get it killed tomorrow. But they'll just kind of like, whatever. And yeah, you can lead them, and I'll say you get there. You get there kind of like towards the like late afternoon. After kind of like trying to corral this guy over there. Long after, I would say the afternoon prayers are like pretty far gone now. It's at this point where I'll have you guys rejoin with the other two gang, who I guess would you guys just wait kind of around the center of town waiting for your friends to come back, or what?
Yeah, I think we were... Oh, go ahead.
I was hoping to like stand right at the beginning of the path that leads to the abbey, so that when the abbot like starts making his way there, we could just like cut him off and be like, can we talk, can we chat, just so
Okay,
like,
all right.
he doesn't have time to get into anything else.
Okay, perfect. We'll do that first, and then I'll say after that you guys notice your friends coming back with the with the drunken boy.
Well, Yuri wants to know what Poe is doing and where they're at after this whole thing, because I only kept track of Finch's side of that conversation. So afterwards, I have questions. What the fuck? That's my only question.
All right. Well, yes. After the afternoon prayers, the abbot will kind of step down from his like little podium. People will like grab their wheelbarrows and their carts and their like animals and their plows and shovels, and they'll go back to their work. And he'll like make his way over towards the God, it's that thing throws me off every single time. I like this ambiance, but God, that like cell phone thing throws me off every time now. He'll like wander back towards his post, and he's a kindly like older gentleman, dressed in like very fancy priest sort of like vestments, and he'll see you guys waiting there, and he'll say like, blessings upon you. Do you have anything you need from me today?
Yes, we were sent by a person by the name of Kran, who's friends with Harshnag, the frost giant that you met recently, in order to help aid him and possibly get some answers from him. And we were told by an associate of yours inside the Abbey that you were out here and that we could speak with you for a few moments.
He'll nod slowly, and he'll say like, yes, you're free to discuss with me as long as you wish. I do have to ensure that the people around here get their spiritual fulfillment, but I can certainly take time out of my schedule to have a brief conversation with you.
We were just wondering if you could tell us anything that you spoke to Harshnag about in terms of the attack that may be coming of the giants, as well as if you know any other information about what is going on with these statues, because we're very curious about that. Julio, am I missing anything? It's mostly just those two, right?
I think so. Yep. He was chomping down on something.
He'll like, I guess we'll get to the giant thing first, and he'll say, well, a while back we met with a very kindly frost giant by the name of Harshnag. We were told we could trust him, and I'm inclined to believe those reports. He's a very kindly sort. He was very helpful here in the village, although he was not very fond of being seen or really even thanked for his work. He was much more willing to let other people take the credit. But after his brief stint, he gathered some of the leaders around here and told them of an impending giant threat. I see it as a kind of test that this village will overcome in time. He simply said that he was going off towards the mountains to enlist some of his friends, of whom he indicated two. He made them sound as though they were dragons of some kind, and they were going to intercept some of the raiding party on their way to the village. But I've not heard back from him since, and I have no idea how that plan went. I can only imagine, though, that he was successful, and that within any day now we'll hear from him.
Sorry, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Okay. There. I guess there's nothing really new on that. I guess we'll just have to wait until Harshnag gets in then. Did he speak to you about anything going on as to why the giants are gathering and wanting to seemingly attack Goldenfields?
He'll nod and he'll say, yes, the giant queen of the area, Queen Guh, a foul sort. She's the hill giant matriarch, and she has sent out patrols to look for food, copious amounts of the stuff, to bring it back to Grudhaug, their large stronghold off in the hills. Harshnag seems to believe that they have some larger schemes at hand. He was talking about them eventually amassing a large army and storming someplace up north, a temple. But why they would need an army to storm a temple is beyond me. All I know is that if they leave the hills around our village, then I will be more than pleased.
You know what temple up north? A Chontia temple?
He'll say, no, not a temple to our goddess. To some giant god. I think it was the All-Father. And there's some very important temple up north, far in the mountains. And they seem to think that bringing some kind of army up there would, I guess, leave them in some kind of good graces with their god. Again, why, I do not understand. But judging by their wits, I don't think they understand fully either.
So you're confident that there won't be an attack on the city if they're going to be focusing their attention on that? Or do you believe, from what you've seen so far, that there will still be a siege?
He'll shake his head and he'll say, I believe it's only a matter of time. If they are going up north, they're going to need food. And it seems like the one that's in charge of them, that Queen Guh, she's quite fond of the stuff. And we are the breadbasket of the north. We have plenty of food here, not only within our fields, but within our storehouses. We have enough food to last the entire Sword Coast for multiple years. But I don't know how long that would last for a giant, but, you know.
Since I have a question, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
Since Helio studied giants, that's why he can speak their language. Would he know what temple they're heading to?
Yes, they're heading to the Eye of the Allfather, way up north. It is a very, very famous, giant temple. It's basically where, from what you've heard, it's where, at the very least, the Allfather, the, main god of the giants, the one that kind of, created the ordning, and the one that kind of gave birth to all the races of giants, he is, either said to, commune through there, he's buried in there, some kind of variation on that.
And Chomp's food, he would be explaining this to Vesper.
Well, from what we heard, if the ordning has been destroyed, then going to this place, I'm assuming they would want to establish their dominance amongst other giants, or at least possibly. But that does make sense that they would stop by here in order to gather resources. Hopefully Harshnag was able to stop at least the majority of them, and whatever does get past, we can help the city in whatever capacity we can. Okay. So what about those statues, and what was her name? Jiliong? She said that you communed with Chontia, and she didn't really give you much information about what's going on?
He'll say, yes, about that. I may have been untruthful to my associate, but I can assure you, things are, perhaps not fine. Fine may not be the right word, but, I can assure you that whatever trials the goddess will send upon us, we will, face them with resolve and, with compassion. We will not back down.
So were you able to speak with Chantia since this happened, or that was a lie?
He'll shake his head like, no, I have spoken with her. It's just I don't want to alarm anyone about what she said. And if you'll excuse me now, I don't know if I should be sharing too much information, with outsiders. I got carried away. Excuse me. Sorry. And he'll kind of like, quickly like shuffle past you and try to like get back into the temple ASAP. Like, interview's over. Don't want to talk about this anymore. Bad things. Don't want to. Nope. Bad vibes.
Harshnag is a giant too, right?
Harshnag is a giant too.
Helio would be confused as to why he's not siding with the other giants.
Do you ask it to the guy?
Kran told us that he helps people from other giants. Like, he told us that he's like a good giant who likes to protect people who can't protect themselves from giants.
But why?
Wait, was that Kran or was that Vincor?
I would say that they would both give you a similar impression of the guy, and that's about what they would say.
I can always ask him when he gets here, because he will be arriving, or so they say, and we can just kind of hang out on the eastern walls and just look out for him. I'm sure we'll be able to spot him. I'm very curious. Yuvio, do you remember when we were in Ardit Forest and after what happened in the temple, you know, we all kind of blacked out into a dream before awakening outside of Ardit Forest? Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember that feeling you got? Or any images from that? I mean, don't these statues kind of remind you of that in a way?
Maybe. He'd be looking at back and forth between the statues. It's like, maybe. What's on your mind?
No, I don't know if those are related. I mean, she said this started occurring 10 days ago. And I don't know, my sense of time with everything that's been going on has been kind of up and down. That's about the same time that we were in Nightstone, wasn't it? About 10 days ago?
Yes.
So I'm wondering if they're just related, if what happened and what was released from that portal and then whatever being stopped all of it, if that was her, and if that was her, why is this, could this all be connected, and could it be that she somehow was, I don't know, tainted with whatever that was, and if it's affecting this prime material plane with whatever all that was.
I mean, it's possible, but I don't know.
Do you think this is something that we need to disclose to the abbot in order to gain trust, or just keep it to ourselves for a bit?
I think we should keep it to ourselves for now. I'm confused about the workings of gods, and I don't know if we should bring it to his attention yet.
Okay. Well, I wonder where everyone else is at. Been waiting here for quite some time.
Hey,
You don't think they're
speaking
getting
of,
into any trouble, do they?
it's as soon as you say that when you'll see Finch and Yuri accompanied by a drunken half-orc singing and dancing and walking down the street towards you guys.
What is that?
Why am I not surprised?
Fury narrows his eyes at Vesper. This is our new friend. He's very polite and nice, and we like him, and I'll just sort of like shove him forward.
You know, was this Vesper and be like, think that's sarcasm?
No, I hope so, but I don't know. I'm just gonna look to Finch. Where's Poe?
She was right. And he turns around and she's not there.
Sorry, didn't realize you muted.
It's a bit more of an explanation about what all of this is. And where our new feline friend has gone.
First of all, this is the captain of the guard. I've made a deal with him, and the Castellan, who I've also met, and he does not like me. Also, he's terrible, so I am going to break through their defenses once I collect a large enough crowd to witness me doing that, to prove to them that they need to up their security, because they have agreed that if I do break through, they will up their security, which they better, because there is giants.
What is our role in all of this? Are we just supposed to gather up people for you, or just watch, or...
Oh, no. I can gather people. And she'll, like, walk forward and, like, talk under her breath. I don't know what a Castellan might pull when he realizes how much of a crowd I'm forming. Can you just make sure my path is a little more clear than that?
Your path to go over the wall?
Yes, I don't think they have any good guards, but I am just going to break through the wall at this point.
And where are you going to do this exactly?
I'll yell over to the guard captain. Where's the most highest defended point in your wall?
He'll like stroke his chin for a minute, and he'll like think, and he'll kind of like, you know, like, is it the front, is it the back, you know, like, kind of like, he'll eventually say, like, I think the front, if you go through the front, I mean, like, well, they'll see you coming from a mile away, the road's flat, the most guards are posted right at the front, they can't miss you.
Through the front.
I mean, do you really have to break through the wall? I mean, you do have the power of disguise. You could just go through and pretend, you know, you are the appearance of something else, and once you get through, change into the appearance of something more menacing, like an ogre or a hill giant, and just kind of go, and pretend, you know.
Oh my god.
Hey, I could do this. Why can't
pretend to be a
anybody
hill
else do it?
giant and start attacking things. No, we're not doing that.
I was gonna say, I was so close to it just being like, wow, that certainly is quite the plan, huh? That's wow, that you guys been spending a while on that one.
Look, I'm just
Yuri
trying to make
just
sure.
slowly raised his hand in objection to that.
I need these people to see that they are extremely, extremely going to die if they get attacked.
You don't have to
We've
literally
got-
attack anybody or anything. You could just pretend.
No, of course not. But I mean, I don't think the guards will even stand a chance, if I'm being honest. Allura might. Some of the... But if the guards are anything like the captain, they won't.
So again, we're just supposed to make sure that Castellan doesn't pull a fast one on you.
Yeah. Just so when I very surely defeat the guards, walk through the front door and show them that they need to, you know, fix the wall, because there's giants outside it. nothing gets in the way of that.
And we want to do this tonight?
Show you over to guard. When did you want to do this?
He'll say, well, I think that the guard, it's the most easy to see people. I mean, you know, if you're giving us every benefit of the doubt, it's the most easy to see people when they're, you know, it's the daylight's out, and you know the pure fields surrounding the city, they're all empty, and you know that's probably the best time. You know, I mean, you know.
I mean, why don't we wait until the morning, so at least we can get a little bit of a rest out of it?
Alright, first, let me just drum up some attraction for the event.
And-
Put his hand up.
No. You, my very, very lovely friend, are not helping with that part. Actually, I have a very important task for you.
Okay.
See, this guard captain here, she'll give him like a little wave. Terrible? Terrible is the word, yeah, terrible is the word here. But, you never know when a terrible
And as he
person...
pulls out a little sword.
No. You never know when an incompetent person is going to just suddenly be competent. I just need you to watch him.
Watch him,
Do not
right.
interfere. Don't touch him. No weapons. Just
Oh, I don't
keep
have
an
to
eye on
touch
him.
him.
Report back. No magic. The only magic I'm
No.
going to use is when you use magic to tell me what he's doing. I need you to spy my eyes. Can you do that?
Okay. Watch him fall into a pit. Got it.
No.
I could just fly you over the wall, you know.
I'm sure you could. But they kind of need to see that even someone as simple as a bard could get past their defenses.
Okay. Haley would go over and stare at this guy intently.
He'll try to like get you to like dance and sing. He'll say like, "Come on, let's sing a song," you know, and he'll say like, "You know, the orcs in the north, they were running around." I don't know. I can't think of an orc song, but he'll start singing a song, and he'll try to like urge you to join in.
He's just gonna stand there staring at him.
After a while, he will stop singing and stop dancing and kind of look very uncomfortable. Like, what is this small little man doing looking at me? Why am I being stared at? Please, I don't like this.
He's gonna take out his staff and just like tap the end on his other hand.
He'll make me an intimidation check.
Okay, okay. Natural 16.
Oh my goodness, I can move this out of the way. Okay, he'll look at you like he'll look at you like he's definitely like unsure. But you'll see he kind of like he does like the mental math in his head. Like he kind of like thinks like that's a small thing. I'm a big thing. If I needed to, I could step on it. You know, like you can see all that mental math, like the gears turning in his head.
Just all of it working behind those glazed over eyes.
Yeah, and he'll still look like he's like not sure about you. In fact, he'll keep his distance from you. Like he'll keep 5 feet from you at all times. But he won't like he doesn't look like he's like outwardly terrified. Like really like outwardly uncomfortable for sure. Outwardly terrified? Nah.
But let's see. I don't think I don't have anything. Okay. I was gonna make it look like there was multiples of me, but I don't have anything to do with that.
Alright, so are you gonna draw a crowd here, Finch? Is this the plan?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Wait, you're gonna get the crowd tonight and then do it in the morning?
I'm going to start spreading the word tonight, so they can spread the word throughout the night. So when tomorrow morning comes, they can all be there to watch.
Okay.
Hold those first to their word.
Okay. Where's Poe?
Oh shit, she'll message Poe. Poe! Oh, you can come out now. Plans changed, we're doing it tomorrow.
Do they know what any dream best might be?
Ooh. Please don't ask anyone that. Actually, you know what?
But they are city guard, yes?
Could confiscate items.
You want to have some fun?
Perhaps you could just get me a badge.
Hey, how loud do you say the word stream mist?
Loud enough.
And where was this conversation taking place again, just so I know?
Still in front of that entrance area to the road that leads to the Abbey.
Okay.
Poe's kind of
We haven't moved our spot.
Okay, alright. Good to know. Keep going.
So,
I have a question.
Your question.
Is there a graveyard?
Here in town, there is. I have to find it on my book, but I'm pretty sure there is.
Okay. It doesn't have to be right now.
Let me double check the book. See where the graveyard is, because I know it exists. Or at least I'm pretty sure it exists. Where do they bury people at?
It's not important. We can move on from it.
Okay,
Just-
alright.
If you plant another bean, the only thing I can think of.
For reference, it's up here. It's a semicircular bit up here.
Oh, okay. I see it.
There you go.
So, Helio's on babysitting duty. You're going to be getting a crowd. Yuri, Poe, and I are.
How about you just go to local bars and such and kind of spread the word that there's going to be a big test of the wall security because of some local reports, and that the guard captain and the da-da-da-da have agreed that if the walls are not as secure as they say, they have to improve them.
Okay, are there enough taverns in the city? Or
There's basically, like, to your knowledge, 1.5. There's, like, the main tavern, and then there's the brewery, which kind of has, like, a small, like tavern-like area where you can, like, you know, purchase drinks directly.
how about you go to the taverns and maybe we can just scout around and let you know what we see in terms of defense of the city, so at least you would have some sort of knowledge of that.
That is a great idea. I'm going to go cause problems.
Okay. I guess we'll do,
Oh,
Do
Before
you
we do
need
this.
anybody to go with you? We go ahead and do that, or
Vesper, please.
yes?
No, I'm extremely... No one would attack me.
I didn't understand any of that.
I should be fine on my own.
Okay.
Though she will, like, when she starts walking away, message Poe. Poe.
you have dream mist, yes?
Oh, no, I do not, but... I really don't like the guard captain, and I am extremely against crime, but if you chance to break into the police, whatever, get some of their stuff, and, you know, kind of prove that they suck at their job, I would not be opposed.
Would it be good to kill them so that you can
No.
really show how
No,
terrible
no,
they
no,
are
no,
at their
no.
jobs?
No, please.
They
please do
can't
not kill
even
anyone.
protect themselves.
No, if you kill them, they will be heroes. They'll be tragic heroes, and everyone will hate the bandit. No, they need to survive. They need to show that even at the best, even without getting hurt, they can't even protect something. Make them look like cowards.
Paul will maybe this.
Thank you, Poe. Really. Seriously though, don't kill anyone.
Silence.
Okay. Do we have our plans, gang? Do we have our plans?
Just one quick thing. Yuri fully anticipated that Vince would want him to go with her because they keep pairing off. And he just stands there while this conversation happens. He walks off, and then he just sort of deflates a little bit. That's it.
Okay. All right. I'll go in this order. We'll do recon team first. We'll do break-in second, and then we'll do gathering a crowd last. Sound good, gang?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I think though we'll take a small little break so I can go get some water. How does that sound? All right. All right. Be back here at 11 o'clock ish. You know, if we're here earlier, we can start earlier. If we're not here by just by 11 o'clock ish. That's when I want you guys back.
We're gonna cause so many problems. I'm excited.
You're gonna cause so many problems.
Okay, well, hopefully those problems result in better infrastructure. By the way, I'm gonna go use the bathroom.
Okay.
Hello.
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 Oh, it's raining out. It's very moody out. It was a very moody kind of atmosphere when I went out there, but it was very nice. Nice but moody.
It was raining earlier today.
Yeah, get used to the rain. It's been raining all summer here, man. It's gonna keep raining, it seems like.
Hey, this is normal where I'm from.
Oh, it's just non-stop rain. Non-stop rain. But, yeah, you know, it's a living. It's a living.
I just had an idea.
Your idea?
We make Allura guard captain.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah,
Actually,
look,
really quick, this is completely unrelated to that, but what were you going to school for again? I think you've told us before. What are you going to school for?
Robotic engineering.
Oh, cool! That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Very neat.
Excited. How to make prosthetics.
Very cool. Very, very, very cool.
Joe. I have a plan.
What?
We get Allura promoted to, like, guard captain.
Okay. How do we do that? I mean, I was gonna plan to talk to Laura anyway.
I know, but, like, they need someone competent here. Like, anyone.
Right.
And, I mean, she has some experience being a guard. That feels like more than the guard captain.
Okay. Well, I was gonna plan to just go and find her immediately and just kind of get some information from her directly. But I mean, did you have a specific plan as to how you wanted to go about this, or just overall she should be the new captain of the guards?
Well, like, if we stage it, so, like, Finch gets in, she clearly defeats the other guards, she shows everyone how sucky the defenses are because they suck. Allura just shows up because she's Allura, and is like, I challenge you, and Finch, like, throws a fight, because obviously it could be Allura, but,
So you want me to get her in on it?
yes. I want her to have a moment to, like, play hero, so that people can see what an actual competent guard is.
I like that.
I have an idea. We can blow something up and pin it on the old guard captain.
Absolutely not.
And she...
I'm just saying, if
How exactly are you going to
I am
as Finch going to go about this?
still thinking
Or do
that
I
part
just-
through.
I just tell Alara, like, hey, Finch is gonna do something in the morning in order to show how incompetent all of these people are, and we want to get you in on it because we want to show how cool of a person you are and possibly get you promoted as the captain instead of this orc dude, so are you down type of thing?
I know, that's what I'm trying to think of, because, like, I don't know.
Should we or how about this? I'll get information from her, and then if she's not on duty overnight, maybe invite her to the tavern, to where I'm assuming we're gonna stay at the tavern, and we could all just have like a little powwow and talk about what's gonna go down.
I could invite her
That
to
we're
a
all
duel.
doing this together.
But at the end I can invite her to a duel, and if, like, when I throw it, I can, like, give this huge, beautiful song speech about how, like, damn, the guard captain sucks, he couldn't even, with his guard, stop me, but this, like, one adventurer could. She should totally be, like, you know, in charge of stuff.
So, wait, how are you gonna get the guard captain, like, is he gonna try to combat this? Was that the deal? And try to stop it?
I think he might try. I don't think he's sober enough to do it successfully, though.
Okay. So, Helio's thing is just watching over him, make sure he doesn't do anything dumb all the way through the night, I'm assuming, is what you were going for? And then...
Wait. Get Helio to get him drunk. Super drunk.
Drinking games with
I think you could manage that.
Okay, so... Why don't I'll talk to Alara, just kind of get some information about the gate and, like, how they, like, do their stuff, and then be like, we would like to invite you tonight just to have the chat, and maybe we can like, Finch has an idea, and we want to get you in on it, type of thing, and then we'll meet you in the tavern come like nightfall or whatever, sunset, and then you can kind of spiel to her about what your plan is.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I don't want to
Hey,
tell her
Contrapoints.
anything that like that's not concrete, and like, you know, we don't want to go through too many messengers and just have like this whole like telephone conversation and have all this information be like messed up.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll do that, and then we'll meet you at the biggest, the whatever tavern that's in town. I think Charlie, you told us the name of that place. I forgot what it was. Earth Mother's Bounty? No, that was the seed place, right?
That's the seed place. It is North Furrow's End.
North Furrow's End. Okay.
Named because
So
the road leading into town, this one here, is North Furrow.
Oh, okay. So, let's say we'll meet you in the evening, Finch, at North Furrow's End with Alara, and then we'll all get together and talk about what's going to go down in the morning.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
And then she'll like
Sounds like a plan.
message. She'll message Helio. Helio, get him drunk. Not dead, but super drunk. Both in the evening, through the night, in the morning as well. Just continuously drunk.
Okay.
Yeah, who's going to be paying for all of that? Because I know we have money now, but are we really going to be paying for all of that?
I told him it was on the guys tab. It'll be fine.
Oh, the selling. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
I like it.
Man, as a
I'm sorry.
DM, it's so fun listening to you guys talk about this. It makes me so giddy and excited, but also I don't know. I've got so much I could say, but keep going.
And I should have asked this earlier, Vesper. I know you have destiny and some sort of destiny and fate and prophecy or whatever all entwined with this, and you're okay with this.
I mean, I feel like whatever's going on with the Giants, as long as this is the part of it, I feel like it's fine. I don't think that there's an exact like date of when things are supposed to be happening. I think it's more of like just partaking in an event. So this being involved in trying to fix or correct or do whatever is going on with the Giants is, as a whole, is pretty much what it is. At least that's what I think. I don't know exactly. So, if this is something that's going to help in that regard, then sure. As long as there's a reason for doing this and not out of pure pettiness.
It's a mix of pettiness and wanting the walls to not be breachable by the army of giants.
Well, you know, that helps to outweigh it, so it's fine.
It could be both.
As long as there's a little bit of something on the other side of it, then that's fine.
Yeah.
I just don't want to make it feel like we could be doing something more productive, and we're not. So as long as this has, you know, a reason for doing it, which is to help protect the city from other potential sieges, not just hill giants, but possibly goblins or ogres or stuff, that's fine.
All right.
Helio was
of
going
course
to commence shoving drinks down this dude's throat.
Where are you getting these drinks, Helio? Are you
Mushroom
taking
drinks.
the holy wine from the abbey?
Oh my
Just
God.
make sure the abbot doesn't see you, or at least the bears, or that girl that we spoke to earlier, Julian. Just do it discreetly.
Not this, don't worry.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, before I forget, when we after, or at least maybe after we speak to Alara tonight, Finch, so we have those things that we got from before, and then I got this thing that Helio kind of got from Vincor that I've been holding on to forever and a day, and I have no idea what it is. So you said that you would be able to help identify some of these things. Could we do that before we go to sleep?
Yes. Let me try.
Okay, I just want to make sure that we can do that at some time tonight before we sleep.
I will need a pearl at least worth 100 gold pieces.
I thought we had a pearl. Didn't we have a pearl from somewhere? I thought we
think
did. I
do.
don't know if it was 100 gold pieces though.
Yeah, I remember we got a pearl from somewhere that was worth a lot. I just don't remember where it came from.
Let me.
I think you bought it, Finch. I think
Yeah.
Finch bought it.
Finch took it, but I don't know if we determined whether or not it was 100 gold pieces worth. But it was a pearl.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's worth 100 gold pieces.
Yes.
I don't care.
Let's identify shit. Let's go.
Okay, so, oh yeah, he said that there were 5 gems that were 100 gold each. One of them is a pearl, and you never told us the other 4.
They're all conveniently priced at 100 gold pieces, so that if at any point
Yeah.
you guys need a gem that is 100 gold pieces, you can say, hey, there you go.
Okay. Alright, cool. So yeah, you've got a pearl. So after we speak to Alara and talk about what's going to go down in the morning, we identify all this stuff. Hopefully you have enough in order to do that. And then we go to bed, and come, I'm assuming sunrise, all of this goes down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Everybody break.
Okay. So, I think we'll still go in the same order. So, wall team. Who's on wall team? Or, like, recon team?
I am going straight to the gate to go find Alara and see if I can talk to her.
Okay. Is it just you, or is there anybody else going with you?
I'm assuming it's just me, and everybody else just kind of like scattered to do their own stuff.
Okay. Works for me. So, you get to the gate, and you kind of encounter the guards there, and after asking around for just a second, they will point you towards Alara. She is currently working at this gatehouse over here. And they'll kind of, like, say, like, oh, yeah, you can walk down the walls. Like, you know, it's not going to hurt anything if you want to go see her, you know. So they'll send you down the walls, and you'll get to these small little guard houses that are perched up atop the walls, and you'll see kind of like the guards inside kind of like playing games and kind of just like lackadaisically kind of, you know, hanging out. And Alara is right there. She's got a very fancy copper spear, and actually it's like a bronze spear, and she's kind of like head on a swivel, kind of like making sure things are like looking good. She's standing at her post, kind of like making sure things look all right, and she looks a little tired, but she kind of like is like half in like a slump against the wall, but you know, she's doing her best.
I'll just approach her and just be like, well, if I was part of some sort of bandit clan, man, these people would not be having a very good day with however the security is supposed to be going on.
She'll jump and like look around, and she'll see you, and she'll say like, oh, it's you. What was your name again?
Vespa.
She'll nod like, ah, Vesper, yes. I saw your friends earlier.
How are you? You look like you've been through some things.
She'll nod, and she's like, yes, I have. Things have been interesting, to say the least. I've been adventuring in the area around Waterdeep, and I've stopped here in North Furrow, at the end of North Furrow, in Goldenfields to take on a small job as a guard to make some extra money on the side, and finance some further adventuring. And once I get enough money, I'm going to go back on the road with a party of my own. I've already kind of been in talks with some of the people around here. Maybe one of them can hire me, and I can get out of here and see the world.
I don't know. Because people seem sort of uninterested in partaking in activities that are not of leisure, so
She'll
has it always been like this?
she'll shrug and she'll say, I've only been here for, a while, but there adventurers that come through town. They can get on positions pretty easily and be put on watch on the wall. If you go to the constable's office and talk to whoever's in charge there, I talked to this grumpy looking sort. But folks tell me there's another one as well, kind of like a happy-go-lucky one. Regardless, they'll pay you pretty handsomely. I'm sure you and your friends could get a job here.
Oh, I'm sure that could definitely happen. We do have other things on our plate, though. In your experience in staying here and being involved in all of this, I mean, have you noticed any, I guess, for lack of a better term, breach of defenses? Because from what I'm looking at right now, it just, if anything was to approach, I feel like anything could get through.
She'll, look at you with kind of like a half laugh, and she'll, flex her muscles, and she'll say, nothing can get through me. But then after saying that, she'll kind of, chuckle again, and she'll say, not that I know of. The city seems fairly safe. And as far as I know, there aren't really any, the bandits that have come through here, are all, deterred, after they're detected. And I haven't seen any major attacks or any major assaults, so I can only assume it's always been okay.
How do they detect bandits from just other wandering adventurers who want to partake in a job like this?
She'll look at you with kind of like a glow in her eye. It'll just it's quite unique. It's quite interesting. Watch. And she'll show you her kind of normal routine. She'll show you she'll pace up and down the walls for a while, and she'll say let's say that elk out there. She'll point to some deer or elk or something out in the field. She's like, let's say that was a bandit, right? What I would say is I'd yell bandit, right? And I'd pass that down, and I'd run. People would run down to the big bells that are stationed at each of these guard towers. We'd ring the bells, and each bell would alert guard towers within the vicinity that there's a problem. And after a while, the whole village would be up in arms. It only takes about 5 minutes, should everything go according to plan.
Have the bells ever been rung since you've been here? Or is this just what you've been told?
She'll think and she'll say there was one night when I was asleep. The bells were rung and people were brought to defenses, but all the fighting was over by the time I got there.
Was it a bandit?
She'll shrug and she'll say, I think it was goblins, but I'm not entirely sure.
What do you think about your captain? Have you spoken or interacted with him at all?
She'll say yeah, the half-orc one. He's, he's a happy sort. He's a happy sort, and I think he's happy, and my mom always said, don't, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And I think I'll say he's a happy sort.
So, you think that there could be someone else in his place that could do a better job?
She'll nod and she'll say yeah, of course. I think and she'll say it under her breath. I think that there are people that could show more care for the office he's in.
Okay. Well, you spoke to Finch earlier, she told me. That's why I knew you were here. We were wondering if this evening, if you're off duty for, maybe an hour or so, you could meet us at North Furrow's End and, we could have a chat and a drink and just kind of catch up. Things like that.
She'll look like she is, over the moon. Like, oh my god, you just made this woman's week. She's like, a real, like, we're really good. Like, yes, of course, that sounds amazing. I get done here in just a little bit. Are you sure you don't want to be sooner?
I mean, I know Finch said she had to run an errand first. So, I mean, we could walk down to North Furrow's End slowly and, meet her there.
She'll look like, again, like she is like this is like made her entire week. Like, she's so excited for this. And she'll like pack her, like get all of her things ready. And she'll shout to a guard like, I'm gonna, like, get out of here for the day. If the guard captain asks where I am, just to tell him I'm on the opposite end of the wall. And they'll kind of like nod and kind of like, yeah, whatever, like go ahead. And they'll get back to their stuff, and they'll all like kind of go back to their things, and she'll like quickly like tail on behind you like, oh hell yes, I'm so excited.
I just chat her up about random this and that until we get to North Furrow's End.
Okay. We will then move to our breaking and entering team, which I think is just Poe, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Poe, you see the constable's office, and you've been told to break and entering and find things. How do you want to go about doing that?
Is there anyone outside of the constable's office?
There's occasionally like one guard that kind of like is in the area, but I mean, like, he kind of like he patrols like basically from like this sort of like intersection all the way down to here and kind of like loops back. So I mean, he's only here maybe like once an hour, and he kind of like
Is there anyone inside? Are there windows that I can see if there's anyone outside?
There are people inside. There are some guard sorts hanging out inside. But there's a stuffy-looking kind of like pompous sort inside, sitting at a desk, rifling through some papers. But there's not many people in there.
Oh, we'll go knock on the door.
Okay, you knock on the door, and
I love that response. Okay.
the door kind of just creaks open, like it's not even really latched or anything. It just kind of creaks open, and there's nobody really out in like the main kind of like lobby area.
Okay. Then I will go inside and kind of poke around. Is there anything of interest in this outer lobby area?
Aside from kind of like there's a couple chairs, there is like a bookshelf with just kind of like various like books about like the history of Waterdeep and things like that. Nothing super interesting.
Wooden furniture?
Yes, wooden furniture. The whole building is
dragging a claw across each thing as I pass it.
okay. I would say after a little while of doing this, the only other thing I'll say that you note is that there is a small desk on the outskirts with a small drawer that has a, like, very simple lock on it that you would definitely, like, you would need tools to, like, open it. It's got, like, a little keyhole. You need thieves' tools to open it, but it looks like a very simple kind of, like, drawer.
Well then, I will go over and attempt to open it with said thieves' tools.
Okay, get me a thieves' tools check.
It does not look like it has given me... I believe it's dexterity, but thank you. Okay, there we go. Make sure the advantage is turned off. Oh! Yikes.
Well, you try and make me a stealth check as well while you're doing this.
You would.
Oh my god!
Oh,
That's all right. I got a plan.
Okay. So
You're good, buddy.
you settle down, you sit down in this chair, and you're kind of small compared to the chair, and you sit down in the chair, and you start, like, tinkering with the lock, and, you suddenly have, like, your sixth sense kick in, and you kind of feel like somebody's watching me, and then you kind of, like, turn your head, like, 180 degrees behind you, and you see this big, pompous-looking sort looking behind you, and he says, "Can I help you?"
Yeah. And then I'll wait for him to speak.
He'll like look at you, like, "What do you need help with?" And he'll kind of like try to like pick you up by the scruff of your neck and try to like shoo you away from the.
No. Does he actually do that?
He'll reach for it. He'll reach.
Okay. Well, before he gets a chance, Poe will stand up and say,
This one thought that you kept forms. Yes, you do keep paperwork here, correct?
He'll look at you and he'll say, "Yes, we have paperwork. What do you need it for?
That the drawer have the form I would need.
What form are you looking for?"
This one is getting married.
Make, he'll look at you with wide eyes and he'll say, yes, of course, who's the lucky lady, man? Who's the lucky person?
Met her before. Horns?
He'll look and then his expression will immediately sour and he'll say like, yes, the annoying one.
Yes, she can be quite annoying, but this one hopes to convince her to leave you alone.
He'll look and like that will like seem to like light him up and he'll say like, leave me alone, you say? Well, if that's all it takes, yeah. And he'll open the desk with a small key and he will rifle around in it for a moment and take out a paper, a like marriage form, and he'll even hand you like a stamp, and he'll say, just stamp the thing and bring it back.
This one will need a witness, though. You are in charge, yes?
He'll take the stamp from you for a second, and he'll explain. He'll say, like, this stamp, all you need to do is stamp the paper, and that serves as my go-ahead. I don't need to witness this hillbilly wedding of yours. You can simply just stamp the paper, and once you guys think it's settled, you can bring it back here.
Who does not understand this term? Hillbilly? What does that mean?
It means, all you need to know is that it means that you have your paper, and you can leave now. Thank you.
Who feels like you have insulted her? Is this true?
He'll look at you and say, no. Someone so simple as yourself, people envy you for being simple, you know?
do I see anyone behind him in that room he came from?
There are two guards kind of like leaning around. One of them has like I guess there are three guards. There are two guards that are like leaning around doing nothing, and there's a third guard with a broom kind of like sweeping around trying to like look busy, but like clearly not busy.
Do you mind if I speak to you about a little secret this one knows?
He'll say, secrets? No, I don't need any secrets. I've got quite enough information as it is.
Not even a secret about my future wife.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh god, I'm so bad at this. Persuasion. Let's see how much that -1 can get me.
Holy shit.
He'll look at you intrigued and he'll say like, well, maybe I could indulge for a few moments. Yes, what secrets do you have?
What if I told you that she sent me in here to do something underhanded? Something to undermine you?
He'll look at you, and he'll, like, feign his surprise. And he'll say, like, what? No, really? Is that why you were fiddling with the lock?
Would you like more details?
He'll nod and he'll say, just one moment, and make me a perception check as he walks away from you. He'll open the door to the room and he'll say like, Guards, get your handcuffs ready. We've got 2 dissidents in here. And he'll close the door and he'll walk back to you and he'll say, right. So, anyways, what were you saying?
And I heard him say all that, right?
Oh yeah, with that perception check, you heard him easy.
It is a shame because I really like Finch. But I have to kill him. I have no choice.
Okay.
No, you have many choices. Killing him is really, really low on that list.
So, let me go ahead and try and before I kill him. I'm gonna try and grab him and fuck it. I'm clawing the fuck out of his face.
Okay, make me an attack roll.
Let's go for that.
With advantage, because it's a sucker punch, so give it to me.
Nothing, go for nothing.
Okay,
I support you.
roll damage for me really quick. Hey, so how do you want to kill him?
Holy shit.
I just like that one swipe across the face, hopefully catching an artery on the way down.
Okay, right,
Don't
yeah.
overvivify.
You hop up and
He's so weak.
you hop up. He's only a commoner, and they have 11 health, but 10 is close enough. You hop up and you kind of like you grab him, and you like scratch right across his neck, and he kind of like he's struggling. He like falls to the ground, and he's like feeling things out. He knocks over the desk, and you hear people in the other room like, what's going on out there? What's going on?" And you hear like stomping around, and you're clomping.
Can I hide to the side of the door waiting for someone to come through?
Yes, you can. Make me a stealth check.
Alright, stealth check, let's go. Nope, not with advantage.
Okay, alright. They will, like, 3 guards will burst out of the door, and they'll look around, and they'll say, like, "Oh my, what happened here?" And they'll say, like, "He was right, there's dissidents around us. Guards, go do something!" And they'll, like, the 2, guards that were kind of leaning around will, like, stand up and, like, storm out of the building. And they'll immediately begin, like, making their way down the path, like, away. And then the other one will kind of, like, lean over the, like, scene and kind of, like, investigate. Like, he'll kind of, like, take some blood and kind of, like, look at it, and he'll kind of, like, inspect the body.
I would like to slit his throat.
Okay, make me an attack roll.
Oh.
Okay, that'll hit.
Ooh,
Okay.
now what?
This one will survive the first attack. And he'll spin around, like, you'll like rake your claw across his back, and he'll spin around. He'll kind of like draw a dagger from his hilt. And he's like, "What are you doing here? Get out of here! What is going on?"
And offhand? Oh, that one misses. Damn.
Okay. You roll me initiative.
Oh god. I was hoping this would be quick. Sorry, guys.
What happened to no killing?
It's all good until he called her a hillbilly. She didn't like that.
That's fair.
Let
The gold bounty has been added.
I appreciate how, like, this went very quickly from trying to save these people to trying to stage a coup to trying to just straight murder.
All went immediately to 5 stars.
She's just trying to get married. Okay?
She's more of like a 2 right now because the rest of the town doesn't know yet.
Can you re-roll your initiative really
Oh my
quick,
God.
so I can add you in
French
correctly?
doesn't know this. She's about to put this man on blast.
Can you click on your token
Oh,
while you
there's
do
my
it?
token. There it is.
Yeah, thank you. I dragged down on the map really quick. Thank
Oh,
you.
Jesus effing.
There we go. And then descending. All right, you're up first.
Bonus action rage.
Okay. That'll hit. All right, let me do some quick maths here.
Offhand.
All right, that'll hit. And that's a dead guard.
Right. So let's lock the door and loot the place.
Okay. I'm gonna keep you in initiative. But I'll say you can start looting. You can find the key pretty easily to that drawer. You want to go through that?
Yes.
All right. You take the key. You open the drawer, And inside are mostly empty forms. You can find like marriage forms for like criminals and like trading shipments and like signing over government positions, like things like that. You find a small notebook, which, if you flip through it very briefly, details the accounts of like the guards' expenditures, like detailing like the ledger of like, okay, so we hired this many adventurers this day, and each one makes like 1 gold piece of whatever, that kind of thing. And the last thing you find are the transfer forms for the 2 officials from Waterdeep. You find the one for Mr. Taram and Mr. Thunderblade. You find both of their transfer forms from Waterdeep as assigned by the Lord's Alliance. Do you take any of those things?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to take them off. Poe can't read, so she's taking everything.
Okay. And the only other room that you can see was the room to the back where the other guards were stationed.
Is there anything in there?
You can open the door and you go in, and it's at this point, well, no, I would say...
At this point, Poe realized she fucked up.
I'll say at this point you hear some jittering at the door. Like, you kind of hear like somebody trying to like turn the knob, like try to like force it in. You hear like boom, 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 like trying to break it down. But okay. In this room, you find much more private documents. You find a journal belonging to both the Castellan, and you find a like brief kind of like, not really a journal, but more like a series of logs from the guard captain. You find various bits of like small jewelry and things. You find notes about various criminals in town, or like suspected leads. And I know your character your character can't read anything, correct?
No.
I will say your character can read one word,
Okay.
and it is drugs. And you know that there is you can't read their name, but you see the word known drug dealer in town, and you just see the word drugs, and that sticks out to you. So that sticks out, but other than that, you see you just see various papers detailing like orders from the Lord's Alliance and various connections to the Zentarum and things like that.
Anything about Bane? Oh, I guess I can't read it anyway. Well, I know that symbol.
I would say nothing with the Bane symbol on it, no.
Okay. Alright. Is there a back door to this place?
There is a stairway that goes up towards the east end.
Yes. But we'll take the stairs.
Okay. You climb up the stairs, and it's at this point when you hear the door boom break down. You hear somebody yell from the bottom like, "I don't know where you are, but get down here!" You'll hear like the clipper-cloppering of people stamping in. But as you enter, you will see a room filled with weapons and like various like armaments. They range in size from like small things like meant for like dwarves to bigger things meant for like people. And you see some like very fancy looking weapons, like more ceremonial. You see make me just gosh, I don't even know what check I would have you make for this. Do a straight up wisdom check for me. You see weapons which you've only heard tales about. You see firearms, guns, big boomy sticks. You see a couple of those, two of them. You see two of them in like a barrel. Besides some strange powder which smells kind of foul. You see that. You see just like I said, various bits of weapons and armor, and aside from that, the only other thing you see is a window leading out onto leading toward the street.
All right. Poe will take the boomsticks and some powder
Okay.
because they're probably expensive,
Okay.
and head out the window.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna put a pause on your action.
Sure.
And we're gonna see what. So we have Helio and we have Finch left. Finch, we'll do you. You're gathering a crowd.
How do I follow that up? Just assassinated someone. He just assassinated the noble I'm about to put on blast.
You don't know that?
To be fair, he was really rude.
It really is.
Now you got to do the character assassination.
Yep. Okay, we're doing this. Finch is going to start getting the crowd showing up by just...
Hey, I really
Yes.
quick, I forgot. You'll find a ring of keys, by the way, Poe. You'll have like a big ring of keys.
Okay.
But keep going.
just putting on the best performance you can and like trying to draw in as many people as possible.
People will come. People are always looking for an excuse to kind of drop their work, and they'll all kind of come and start like looking at the performance, kind of like, you know, if you're doing a song, they'll clap along. If you're doing some other kind of thing, they'll ooh and ah.
Is Yuri in the crowd?
Is Yuri in the crowd? Yuri is muted. Yuri might be in the crowd.
Anyway, she's just gonna like start very subtly just lacing in jokes about the town's security.
They'll like it's kind of as a cold open at first, but after a while they kind of like come around and they start laughing like, "Hi, yeah, you know, maybe a stack of goblins could crawl into this fort, you know. Who knows?" Anyways,
She's just gonna like pretend to get drunker and drunker. Is the captain of the guard in there?
in the crowd, no.
She's gonna just take a moment and message Helio. Helio, bring the captain of the guard.
Are you within
Where?
messaging distance of Helio? How long does message reach?
150 feet? Oh no.
How many feet is in a mile?
A lot more than that.
A lot more than that.
No, you can't message Helio.
Okay, then she's just gonna jokingly just start kind of at first just as a side message after like a song or something, message how she and the guard captain have a challenge currently going on that even a bard can get through their walls.
That will seem to spark some controversy. Like, some people will say like, ah, yeah, that's easy, you know, like I could climb through these walls in my sleep, while other people are like, really? I mean, like, we haven't been attacked in like 100 years, so there's like, I mean, are you really that worried? And you know, like, the consensus kind of seems to lean towards your side, but like, they definitely seem like conflicted.
When I see the confliction, I'm gonna go into a full like song and just epic retelling of the fight we had with the giants just outside of this area.
After hearing that, they'll like ooh and ah. They'll like ask you for more details. There's like, oh, the giants like right around here. Maybe the rumors are true. They will say. They'll kind of seem like confused and a little worried. Like, uh-oh, is that really true? Like, they'll start with like ooh and ah, but then they'll kind of follow it up with like, uh-oh, oh no.
I'm gonna then elaborate on the goblins that we also found there and how they're probably gonna attack as well.
That will immediately bring more uh-ohs and oh-nos. And now the crowd kind of goes from being like, ooh, this is fun, to like, oh, uh-oh, oh no. Like, not open panic, but everybody's kind of like, the mood's definitely a little sour now.
I'll like try to joke it off, just play a song, and then jokingly say, just to alleviate everyone's fears, how about tomorrow I try to break through any part of the wall the captain chooses.
They'll like nod, you know, like you'll kind of get like some like, oh, okay, and like, people will start to siphon off, regardless of how good the final performances are, as, like, they're kind of, like, a little bit, like, either some of them are, like, you can tell, like, disgruntled, like, there's no way this will happen. Like, this simple bard can't get through. Others are like, oh god, is our home under attack? Are we going to die? It will range, like, the reactions will range from those kind of extremes. And then there will also, of course, be some, like, ooh, I can't wait to see, like, a fun little challenge. Can't wait.
Okay. She'll just, like, continue playing music for a while.
Okay. Alright. Anything else? Going once, going twice? I'll take that as a no. Alright. Team Helio. Helio. You follow, your half-orc friend to the bar. And they will settle down in the, brewery. And the worried-looking half-elven family, which you didn't see earlier, but they will, again, kind of have, like, worried looks on their faces as he orders one round. They'll say, like, one for me and one for the small one, you know. And he'll start chugging them down.
Helio just be, like, motioning one more. He'll even sign his own, like, that way.
And he'll say, like, man, I'm getting the feeling that something odd happened with your friend earlier. Do you know what I mean? Like, your friend didn't seem, like, totally... I mean, like, when I was talking to your friend, I didn't feel like I was myself back there.
He got that effect on people.
He'll say, like, I don't know, it felt like... Didn't feel right.
No, everything's okay. You're good.
And he'll nod and
drink.
And he'll accept your offer. He'll say, like, oh, another drink. That sounds like a great plan. And I'll say, like, an ale will cure what ails you. That's for sure. That's what my mama always said. And he'll, like, take another big swig of it. And these two, like, tavern, like, owners, these two brewery people will, like, look and be like, oh god, this again. And they'll, like, the wife will, like, will whisper something to her husband, and, will go behind a door and will close it, and, the husband will kind of come over and he'll say, like, are you guys finding everything to your fancy?
Yes, I think so. You gotta find he's gonna, like, channel Finch. Be like, you gotta find establishment here.
He'll like look like proud for a brief moment, but then he'll look over to your friend and he'll immediately sour up again, and he'll say, like, well, thank you. We try to keep it as high class and as sophisticated as possible. It's just we have some patrons who don't always pay their tabs and who don't always act as they should in a fine establishment such as this. And he'll kind of, like, as he's handing a drink to the guard captain, he'll kind of look a little bit like, oh god, oh no, please leave.
Helio will be like, it's okay, and he'll start speaking in Elvish and be like, I will take care of it. It'll be fine.
He'll look at you, like, kind of surprised, and he'll reply in Elvish that's not perfect. It's Elvish that, like, you can understand, and it's definitely not, like, illiterate, like, broken Elvish, but it's, like, it's Elvish that's something like a weird dialect, and he'll say, like, what do you mean, fine? This guy, he's a mess. He's a disaster. This is the guy in charge of our security.
He'll flourish with a bit of Sylvan and be like, things will all be taken care of. And it'll kind of sound like he's singing in Sylvan.
He'll look at you, and, like, you can see, like, he shifts his tone to be more, like, regal, like, kind of, like, formal at the very least. Like, he tries to address you, like, instead of, like, you know, if you were speaking French, you'd use, like, the formal we, you know, like, the vous instead of the nous, you know. And he'll kind of start speaking like that, and he'll say, like, what, I don't quite catch your meaning, friend. Is there something I'm not aware of?
All will be revealed in time. That's just a no.
Okay, he'll nod, and he'll say, "What of your friend? Do you want me to continue to accommodate him?"
Yes, please.
He'll nod and very affirmatively, like pretty much just hand you a bunch of mugs, and he'll point to a big thing of ale, and he'll say, "If I happen to leave, that's all you need."
Thank you. And he'll take out the salt shaker that he took from before, and be like, handing it over, and be like, "Here, have this."
He'll take it and he'll say "Thank you," and he'll set it on a table nearby, and one table will have 2 salt shakers on it.
He'll be like, "You take good care of that now. It's special."
He'll pick it back up and he'll look at it. He'll unscrew the cap and take his finger and lick the tip of it and dip it in and kind of lick it again, and the salt will kind of hit him and he'll be like, "Ugh, gross." And I'll put it back and I'll say right, and he'll kind of look at you a little bit dubiously, but will go back behind the bar and kind of continue serving your friend drinks.
He'll give a wink before he walks away.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else Team Helio needs to do?
I don't think so. I think he's just gonna spend the rest of the time making sure this dude is nice and drunk, and if he does decide to wander off, he's gonna hit him with the 1-2 and knock his ass out. Okay.
All right. Now we're gonna come back to Team Poe. Team Poe is in some trouble. After rummaging around a little bit more, the doors fly open, and what was your plan from there? There are some windows in the front of the building. Are you going to go downstairs, face your fighters, try to break out? What's your plan?
So that's a possibility? Going downstairs to fight them?
It is, technically.
How high is the building? Would I be able to dip from the window?
You're a cat. You don't need to worry.
Hey, yeah, no, let's do that. Poe would like to go down there and kill all of the guards, but she also knows that she's got lots of paper.
Okay.
That was her job, to get stuff.
All right. You can easily scale down the building. Are you trying to do this stealthily? Are you trying to sneak away, or are you just broad daylight running around?
I'm going to try and sneak away really fast because I have aspect of the wolf now, and I can do that.
Okay, give me a stealth check and a dexterity check.
Okay, so stealth, and just straight dexterity. Right?
Straight dexterity.
Okay.
Okay, very easily done. You hop off the building and you sprint into a nearby rice paddy. And amongst the kind of wet, kind of marshy soil, it's pretty much impossible to see you. And you witness guards coming in from various places, checking things out. And you hear people calling, "Sound the alarm! Sound the alarm! We've got some kind of intruder in the walls." And they'll say, "What are you talking about?" And they'll say, "There's some kind of dissident. I don't know. He wasn't clear. All he said was that there was people that needed to be arrested, and now he's dead. We don't know what's going on." You'll kind of see people scurrying off in various directions towards the wall. Are you just going to lie in wait?
Poe doesn't remember whether or not Finch told her where she was going.
You could make me a history check to determine where you know where you're going.
I don't know if she did, though. I think she just said, "Poe, I need you to do this," and that was it. I don't think Poe got the rest of the story.
I mean, with that nat 20, Poe can have the rest of the story if you want Poe to have
Okay,
it.
Sure.
Poe knows that your whole party is going to be meeting at the tavern in town, which is right over... my GM layer is a mess because Roll20 sucks. It's somewhere over in this area. I can't see it because of how Roll20 is designed, but it's somewhere over in that area.
Yeah, Poe is gonna dip and go get loaded.
Alright, I'm gonna move this over here. There we go. Yeah, it's this main building right here. There we go. Okay, alright. After a little bit of running, everybody will hear the chiming of bells as the village starts to sound the alarms, and you start to hear these big brass bells. They start over here, and then you kind of hear each guard tower starts to ring and ring and ring. And now all of you are aware that there is some kind of problem assailing the village.
Yeah, okay.
I follow Alara wherever Alara goes.
Okay, Alara will, like, she's halfway back. She's, like, walking with you to the tavern. The second she hears the bell, she'll say, "We have to go," and she'll kind of, like, run to the walls and try to, like, get her bearings. Well, what's the plan now, gang?
Well, are the bells going off before I get to the tavern, or
The bells will go off before you get to the tavern.
Okay, then I will stop someone rushing by and say,
This one wants to know what the bells mean.
It will just be like some commoner, and they'll say, "We're under attack. I don't know what's going on. All I know is that we're under attack by something."
Where do we go?
He'll say, "Back to your home, if you have one. If not, then I would get out of here. This probably is not a good time."
Is there a tavern I can hide in? Inn of sorts?
He'll point. He'll say, like, "Yes, North Furrow's End, right over there. Just hurry!" And he'll, like, immediately sprint back to his home.
okay. And I will head there.
Okay. All right. Is everybody else going back to North Furrow's End? North Furrow's End.
I follow Alara because she said bells is like about like outside danger, so I'm thinking like, oh, maybe the hill giants came by or there's goblins out there, so I'm following her.
Okay. Is everybody else going?
Finch hears alarms and assumes they're being invaded, not that Poe got caught, so she's gonna go try and help.
Okay. All right. And then, are you gonna stay there, Helia, with your friends?
Yeah, he's gonna question about the bells as well. He doesn't know.
When asked, the guard captain will simply say, like, it's probably nothing. It's probably just a routine drill. If I remember right, I think there was a drill today, but that might have been.
Keep getting in after all, right? Nothing bad can happen.
Yeah, he'll say, like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to tell him. But then there's these naysayers, and they tell me, like, no, the walls, people can get in.
Helio's gonna try and get the guy talking loud so that everybody else can hear.
All the people that are there are these two half elves, and they've heard this spiel before. Like they already have heard this, like the naysayers and the walls are fine. But everybody else going towards the walls. As you guys are starting to get towards the walls, you see a steady stream of guards like running in towards the village. Like yelling, like, "We're under attack! There's villagers! There's somebody being attacked from the inside!" And you see, like, people storming into the village. Like, you assume that this is, like, some big breach. Like, there must be something going on. But they're all heading towards, some of them are going, like, if you're, like, around here, where Alara was, they'll be going towards the center of town, like, over this way. If you're over here, where I'm assuming Finch and company are going, they'll start going north along the roads this way.
On our lair.
Oh, I'm not on our lair! That's why! Hey! Okay, so if you're with Alara's gang, then you're probably, like, walking back from this way. You'll see the guards coming from this way. And all the guards that are going from this way are kind of making their way towards the town square. The, like, Finch and Company gang are, you guys start going this way to go to the walls. You see a bunch of guards coming off of the walls and going this way. But what I will say, regardless, is that you all get the sense that this is, like, you know how, like, if you're in a small town, and, like, the small town police never get any action, and, like, the one time they get action a year, like, everybody springs to it, and, like, like, the whole police, yeah, the whole town police gets to, like, this one house that had, like, a gunshot, you know? And it just turns out to be, like, a misfire or something. That's the kind of, like, vibe you get. Like, the whole town is like, this is huge. This is the biggest thing that's happened all year. And, like, you get the vibe, like, this is, like, the small town police, like, they're going hog wild here. And you kind of, like, people are like, go, 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 this isn't a drill, like, go! You know, it's like chaos. It's, like, a complete mess. But you see them all making, like, basically all the guards are making their way towards this one building.
Yeah.
I mean, if Alara is going that way, then yeah, I follow her. Where the action is.
Finch is a healer. She's gonna go where she thinks people are hurt.
Okay. Finch, you will know that is definitely the constable's office. So, I don't know if you want to try to piece two and two together there, but that's definitely...
Happy intelligence check.
Is there a common sense check? I don't know.
Perception,
I think it would
maybe?
be wisdom.
I guess, yeah, wisdom or intelligence if you want.
Is Finch smart enough to put two and two together?
You can,
Yes, she is.
you know, it doesn't take Sherlock Holmes to assume, like, okay, I told the weird cat lady to go to the constable. The constable is where all the guards are going. Either that means that the constable's office is where all the weapons are stored, which you know to not be equivocally true because you saw several barracks around the village, and there's, like, a barracks next door. Or something has gone down at the constable's office. You don't know which one is true, but, you know, you kind of have that general sense.
Oh, damn it, Poe. It's gonna look more suspicious if I run. She goes towards the...
I don't
She
know.
goes towards there.
It might look more suspicious if you didn't run, because everybody else is rushing.
That's a good point.
I mean, they're adventurers. She just bragged about being able to get through the wall, I mean.
True.
She will, like, tell the guards if she catches up with them that she's a bard and is capable of healing. if they
Okay.
need help.
So, yeah, you guys all start making your way over there, one at a time, and as you show up, there's, like, barricades set up, and there's, like, tons of guards, like, investigating, and, again, it is, like, overrun with people, like, this small little building, which is maybe intended to house maybe, like, 50 people at most, is housing maybe, like, you know, like, 100 people. And, like, every inch of it's being poured, like, every, like, poured over, every single, like, cranny and nook is being searched, and in the center of it all, you see the Castellan dead. His throat has been slit, and he is kind of, like, his blood is covering the floors, and news quickly spreads that, like, the Castellan is dead.
Oh. Oh no. Is Vesper there?
Vesper
Did
is
you make
there.
it in time?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, like, the whole guard knows after, I would say, 15 minutes, the whole guard knows that, like, the Castellan is dead. After about 30 minutes, the whole village knows.
Okay. Okay. We can.
Finch is on instinct going to run up and try to use the healing leaves to bring this guy back, see if they might do anything.
Roll me 1d100.
Yep.
Unfortunately, no. You kind of, like, crush the leaves up, you kind of, like, feed them to him, and you say, like, I'm a doctor, hold on, and you kind of, like, try it, and you say, like, well, maybe give it a week, you know, like, I don't know. And the guards kind of, like, shrug, and they kind of, like, you know, begin carting his body off, towards the cemetery. Immediately the question shifts from, like, okay, so what happened? Now everybody's like, so what do we do about it? You know, like, where are the witnesses? Who do we know is there? Kind of thing. and it's turning up dead. Like there's like a lot of people are like, I don't know, I wasn't there at the time, and like I've only heard cell phones going off in the background. Fuck me, god damn it. Oh yeah, we have to end here in a second because Joe has to leave. Okay, we'll wrap up here. But
Well, I like this one better.
I think we'll end by saying like people don't know what's going on, like mass confusion. There's mass confusion and people are just unsure. Like people don't know what's going on. And I think next week we'll pick up with you guys talking your way out of murder.
I mean,
They don't know it was us. They don't know.
They
it was
don't know
Poe. No, but
anything.
nobody saw.
nobody knows it was Poe but Poe.
Yeah, you know.
Finch has some suspicions.
Well, I will be.
We could put
Hoping-
the suspicions on somebody else.
All right. Well, thank you for coming out, gang. That was a good session.
Yeah.
Thank you for putting up with the comments.
I swear I did not plan on killing him. It was really rude.
It's all. This is like the second time this has happened where we're like, okay, we have a plan. We're gonna, we're gonna do this, and then there's always that one character that just has to go ahead and like
really, it's
turn
not
everything
Poe's
around.
fault if he just stayed out of the room.
One thing that I love though is like, your guys' plan. I don't know if I can say this, but your guys' plan was so good. Like, oh my god, it was better than I anticipated. I was like frantically trying to like write things in the background to like accommodate how amazing your guys' plan was. And I still think that your plan is like, outstandingly good. Like, I think that you guys have a very good plan here.
In regards to everything that did happen, though, I kind of agree. What Poe did, Poe would have done. So
Yeah, no, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. The guy is supposed to be a fucking idiot and a fucking loser. So I mean, like, it was only a matter of time until he was off by someone.
Check and check.
Okay, Helios' plan is going to be to pin it on the guard captain, but he can't figure out how to do it yet.
The guard captain manifested his drunkenness and like alcohol poisoning to the other guy. That's how it happened.
Exactly.
And that's why he's bleeding everywhere. Alcohol poisoning.
Alcohol poisoning.
But yeah, no, I'm impressed with how that went, gang. That was very good.
Yeah.
That was very, very good. Well,
Thanks, gang.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
What?
just so I mentioned it to Charlie earlier, but I won't be here on the 30th. I'll be here next week, but not the week after, because my family is going on a vacation. So I don't know if you guys want to continue playing on the 30th and just have Charlie, Jaeger, Vesper. Like, that's fine with me.
the
but
plan,
I just wanted to let you know.
judging by
week's
how
okay.
this session went, I think, and I'm gonna cross my fingers, hope to die, stick a finger in my eye kind of thing. I think that the next session will be you guys figuring out this whole village, like getting it all sorted, and I think that'll be an important session, but the session afterwards, I won't spoil what happens, you probably can guess, but I won't spoil it regardless. That session I think we'll cut it kind of short, so that way it doesn't, like, not too much happens, but, that session will be, I think, substantially, like less important. Again, assuming things go going the way they're going, I think that's how it will work.
Okay.
So
Okay.
prepare for our session on the 30th, unless next week I tell you differently, prepare for our session on the 30th to maybe be half the length than normal.
Okay.
But
Sweet.
It's good.
I will upload the recording without the first hour because I suck. But
We didn't technically even start until like 45 minutes past.
Yeah,
the hour,
yeah.
so-
Well, yeah, there wasn't too much we missed, but I'll upload that. That'll be uploaded by probably by 2 o'clock tonight. It should be done. It generally uploads pretty fast. I'll post it in the channel, same as always. If you have any questions, hit me up. You guys are free. Be gone. Class dismissed.
Yeah.
Class dismissed.
Thank you for
Thanks,
the
guys.
session.
See
Great.
you later.
Bye. See everyone.
Why, Charlie.
Yes.
So I'm not sure how to go about bringing in my new character.
Unfortunately, I have not had time to read the things you sent me. I got them, and I, skimmed very briefly, a brief, 2-second skim.
Yeah, it's a lot, so I don't blame you.
But I can work with you on that. That's something, I'm not too worried. Bringing characters in is not terribly difficult. At some point throughout the week, because I should have told them this before I sent them all away. I'll probably just send it in the Discord, but this is going to be a big week where I'm going to be writing you guys things and sending out little blurbs of things. I'll probably use the time I would spend on Helio on preparing a entry point for Helio's replacement, Helio 2.
Okay. I'm thinking maybe we should bring him in at the end of the session next week, if we do bring him in at all next week.
Okay.
Just so, because I feel like they're in the middle of something right now, and it would be too...
Yeah, it would be too chaotic.
Yeah.
As far as I know so far, and not that I know anything, super about your character, not anything concrete, the plan is to, once you guys get done here, in Goldenfields, and you guys meet with Harshnag, you guys are going to make your way out of here. And once you guys make your way out of here, that's when I think Helio is going to dip, after we make our way out of here. And you guys will make your way out of here with plenty of time for Helio to get back to Amphale, or wherever. I think it was Amphale. I'll have to double check the map. I don't know. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Plenty of time to get back and go do whatever Helio wants to do. Once you guys leave, then I think that's when we'll introduce your characters. So I would say, at the longest, you'll be playing Helio for 2 more weeks. The shortest, 1 more week.
Okay.
That's the plan.
Alrighty. Thank you.
Aye, Captain. All right.
Have a
Goodbye,
good night.
friend.
Bye.